Welcome. Did y'all see that? Did I just turn the volume? Where's the sound? Did I do that?
I think JP did that. JP's trying to do the
No,
camera.
I did that. I'm doing about 10 things at once.
No, it's fine. You're doing a lot of things today. And if everybody knew what you were doing or what you've just done.
Is it a Monday? Why do I look like a pixelated robot, JP?
You don't.
I don't?
Is it about to clear up?
You look clear.
Oh, on our side, we look like
Pixelated robots.
Oh, on my side, you're crystal clear. We're good.
We completely just did an SNL parody of ourselves.
You know what we watched this weekend? Because Jennings, my daughter, showed up to the Super Bowl party last night in all black. Do you remember the Sprockets?
Yes.
On SNL? You
I
probably
remember
don't
the
remember
Sprockets.
this.
No.
Oh, funny you said that. I like the Sprockets.
Sprockets are funny. So happy Monday, everyone. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So we're having a Monday off the bat, and we're just happy to be joined by you for a 3-hour conversation about all the things. Right now, we are having the bars on our camera that we had when I was a child, when the TVs went off at 10.
Bars.
And we had the Pledge of Allegiance or the Star Spangled Banner in the morning. You know, that's what we're going through right this second.
Wait,
do you remember? Are you old enough that the TV went to look like this at night before?
And they played the Pledge of Allegiance
in the morning to start the next day's shows. Like there was a time where the TV wasn't on all the time.
Wait. At
the end of the day, it would go, that ends programming or some version of that. And then it would play, either it would go to the bars that we just saw, or some stations would play a waving flag and they would do the Star Spangled Banner. And then in the morning, after all that silence or fuzz, depending on what station, if you are on UHF, there was fuzz. You would go back in the morning and there would be a flag.
Even I knew this.
A pledge. And then the tones. Do, do, do.
Wait, every morning to every Good Morning Vietnam
morning
kind of,
it did this. Every morning.
We can begin the day. We didn't do this in East Tennessee.
Allison, what did you do in East Tennessee? Did y'all have Yankee programming at all times?
It was definitely not patriotic. No, I don't remember. I mean, I remember the fuzz. I do remember the lines, but I don't remember the morning being like, I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Or they would play the Star Spangled Banner.
Hold on one sec. I'm going to pull up a clip of it.
Oh,
okay.
JP. Anyway, we thought we would get everything all right on Monday, get it set off right. But now we got to tell Sinclair the way the things used to be. It's fine.
All the things I missed growing up in that Union City.
Gosh,
sad.
Bless your heart. So there's a lot to talk about today. And while JP is collecting the clips that many of y'all will remember, how about in Radio Land, y'all text us what you remember would happen at the end of the day or at the start when the TV wasn't on all the time, but maybe your parent got up really early for work. So you know what that looked like. And you had grape nuts and a half of a grapefruit with your dad in the morning and that serrated edge spoon, and your mom would put honey, and when she wasn't looking, you'd add sugar, and then you dug out the pieces of grapefruit. Or was I alone?
I do remember that.
Because my dad and I would eat in the dark, and my mom would fix our cereal, and then he would go off to work, and
that's so funny.
Then she would turn the news on. And I was from the time I was a child, Allison.
You're where you're supposed to be.
Here we are.
That's really funny.
Here we are. So, JP, did you find it?
I did, yeah.
JP's status today, friends, and it will go as the day goes along. JP is the GOAT, and you'll know in a few minutes why we're saying that, but JP is the GOAT. JP, let's show Allison what she's missed out on all these years. Morning. Depends on the station. Look at this. We used to love our country. We love our country. Also, Our dingbat Olympians need to remember this.
Oh, a woman. A woman. Oh, that was legal.
We're
Okay.
doing this
is
because
really
our
cool.
Olympians
I feel
can't
like we need to
do it.
stand up and sing along.
So here's
Yep, and there's the
this is what it sounded like, and everybody got up, turned it off, and went to read books or have a conversation or went to bed.
Is that when like you hope the rabbit ears failed? Whew, that was not good for the ears.
No, which is why people turned it off
Mhm.
because it was annoying as heck. But that's the way it used to be.
I like
So,
that.
It was good, wasn't
Take
it?
me back. I didn't experience it, but I want to go back.
So we're going to have a Monday, and it's going to be a great Monday because we are talking about Bad Bunny and woke Olympics and so much more. We have Joan Reynolds, who is the acting chair of the Alabama Republican Party. She'll come on and visit for a few minutes in the 3:00 hour. We have the 3 in the 4:00 hour. And there are so many stories we'll be talking about in between. We cannot wait. And are we up?
Oh yeah, sorry.
How about the GOAT? Why don't you tell everybody what we did this weekend and what's happening? Because you are the GOAT. You are a wizard. We are so excited about this right now. So excited.
So this past so 2 days ago we filmed a podcast with Admiral Brian Christine, who is the Assistant Secretary of Health. He works, I guess, is he the number 2 behind RFK?
Yes.
So he's the number 2 behind Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at HHS from Alabama, from Birmingham. And we filmed a hour-long podcast with him. And as of this second, it's out on X. If y'all want to go check it out, the full thing. It's also got timestamps for topics if y'all want to go check it out on Rightside Media's X page. It's also up on our YouTube at the Rightside Media. Or if you're following us on Facebook, I posted a link to the YouTube video on Facebook. So it is now out. And if you give me about 10 minutes, it will be out audio podcasts as well, wherever you get the audio version of our show. So y'all go check it out. Our full interview with Brian Christine is now out.
So exciting. So Brian Christine, y'all, is the new Rachel Richard Dick Levine.
But he's not confused about what he is.
He is a male. And so was he. But he wore a dress and earrings and called himself Rachel. But yeah, we talk about it in the podcast. He is in Rachel's old office. Like, could not be more different, though.
No.
I bet it's even decorated a lot differently.
Yeah.
But it was a great podcast. That administration, they're doing a lot. And I'm really excited because that's one department, one secretary that I feel like has been able to accomplish what he set out to accomplish.
Yes, I was blown away.
Yeah.
By all that they've done. I came home and told the fam, it's listening, learning what we did. I was like, all right, go America. Like, these are good things we can all get behind.
And what did he talk about? Maybe we'll get that and get into that later. But we covered a lot in an hour-long podcast.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't know if y'all want to do it now, but it's good.
I'll tell you what we can do. Give our listeners a chance to go and find it. We'll be sharing it across all platforms and on our personal pages. But it was a great interview, and we were thrilled to be able to do it and to cover what we covered. And yes, throughout the day, we'll sprinkle little tidbits of what that was like. And then we have others coming out as well. So this is going to be, we're filming one again tomorrow with someone else. And so just keep looking for them because we'll be building up a nice little stable of interesting people with interesting topics that we'd be thrilled if you would share with your friends and family. And maybe some of them y'all can help us make go viral. You don't know. You don't know. But we thank y'all for being the first to know, and thank you in advance for sharing because we appreciate it. So the question of the day is, we're going to talk about it when we come back, but did y'all watch the Super Bowl or the halftime show?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
JP.
Okay, wait. You said Super Bowl and halftime show?
Yeah.
Yes and no. I
Yes
watched
and
the
no.
Turning Point halftime show.
Well, I mean, that is a halftime show.
Okay, so I didn't watch the Bad Bunny halftime show.
So I watched Turning Point.
I
not-
watched Bad Bunny for research.
Oh, I
for
watched
research.
Bad Bunny today. I don't know. I have thoughts. I kind of liked it.
This is going to be this is going to be interesting.
I hated it for one reason and I kind of liked it for another. But do you want to go to break before we duke it out?
Yeah. Girl fight.
Wait, what was it that Scott Beeson used to always say?
What?
Oh, tumbleweave. Tumbleweave. Look at all those tumbleweaves. He had them on his bus.
Yeah, Tumbleweave is where it's at.
You see him in downtown Birmingham.
Oh,
sometimes.
bless it all. So I guess what we'll hear, no, not I guess. We will, Allison obviously is going to take us out to break. When we come back, we can montage it because within the montage is a little bit about Bad Bunny. And that will be the story we start
Oh.
with first, post montage.
I didn't know he made the montage.
It did make the montage, didn't it? The
yeah, I
goat?
did. Well,
The
yeah.
goat?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Cool. I thought he was a bunny. We'll be back.
How Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors.
You're talking like a robot.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. You've heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team of investment advisors. Allison!
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Hey, y'all. You've heard us talk about investment. JP, turn around.
Okay.
Go in the other room.
Anything else to do but look at JP?
All right, don't look at JP.
Oh.
Look at the camera.
Okay. Look,
This is
we
our
can do
big
this.
break. This commercial is our big break.
It's not even funny. Okay.
Hey, y'all. You've heard us talk
Sup?
about our friends.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey, you've heard us talk about
Gang,
Inspire Advisors. We'll get it, JP. Just don't give up on us.
Sweaty. You should do it like Marge.
Okay. Hey, my friends. You've heard us talk about Inspire Advisors. How Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't match your Christian values.
Paul and his team are experts at what we call biblically responsible investing. And they're offering a free class for a limited time just for you. You're up.
Check out the class and register for free at www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly. It's conservative. It's financial freedom.
Again, you go to Inspire Advisors at www.moneywealthpattern.com and check them out and tell them Rightside sent ya. What is that?
We'll do it afterwards.
There are those in the immigrants' rights community who have argued passionately that we should simply provide those who are illegally with legal status, or at least ignore the laws on the books and put an end to deportation until we have better laws. And often this argument is framed in moral terms. Why should we punish people who are just trying to earn a living? I recognize the sense of compassion that drives this argument. But I believe such an indiscriminate approach would be both unwise and unfair. It would suggest to those thinking about coming here illegally that there will be no repercussions for such a decision. And this could lead to a surge in more illegal immigration. And it would also ignore the millions of people around the world who are waiting in line to come here legally. Ultimately, our nation, like all nations, has the right and obligation to control its borders and set laws for residency and citizenship. And no matter how decent they are, no matter their reasons, the 11 million who broke these laws should be held accountable.
What is the bigger threat to America right now, American values, American life? Islamophobia or jihad?
I think we have to focus, quite frankly, on, if we're worried about the threat to American values, on the person who's in the White House.
What an idiot!
Sometimes people come up to me and whisper, does it matter if we don't believe in the virgin birth?
No, it doesn't matter in the UCC for sure. There are some Christians to whom it really matters. But in the UCC, we feel like the most important thing about Jesus is paying attention to how he lived his life. And the details around his birth are things that we can find meaning in, but the meaning might be symbolic.
What? Hannah Moore believes she and other SNAP recipients should be able to go into the grocery store and buy whatever they like. Soda, candy, prepackaged sweets, prepared desserts, and juice with less than half of natural fruit or vegetable juice in it.
It's not even cool. Like, why they do that? What's the point of food stamps if it's just for real food?
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We have just shared our first podcast with y'all. It don't happens to be Brian Christine, like casual. No big deal.
No biggie.
No big deal. We're not excited. We're very excited. All right. Before we go to the montage, we had a viewer ask who Bad Bunny was, and we're so glad you asked, which, by the way, we do pay attention to the things y'all say on the stream and on our socials. So keep it up. We love it. Thank you. But Bad Bunny sang at the halftime show, and a lot of us didn't even know what he said. Okay. But we didn't miss the message. So how about, though, before we even talk about it, JP, can you montage us away?
I can montage us away. Just give me 1 second here.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Time for news. Logan, are you excited for the halftime? No.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and he'll give you a second chance till you can't take it.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
Proactively protecting pedophiles.
They are protecting pedophiles at this point.
By redacting the abusers' names. The White House, listen.
Okay, we're going to cut it there.
Okay.
Because I think I went back into sensitive. But yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was, who was that podcast? That was Sean Ryan. Who was he with?
Sean Ryan with Ro Khanna.
Okay. So, okay. All right. We're just gonna go there. By chance, did you guys see the Survivor advertisement during The Super Bowl.
Oh, the Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it during. I saw it on X.
Okay. I want to see if we can find it. I don't know. I was in and out. We were doing household chores, but the game was on.
Well, I don't know if you want to talk about the game. I didn't watch any of it. I mean, I was there. It was on.
I napped.
It was just a bunch of field goals, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad game.
I felt bad. I felt bad for the Patriots.
Why?
I didn't.
You didn't feel bad? Were you for the Seahawks?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan. I don't really care.
What?
I don't know if I can say what I just realized.
What?
I forgot to put deodorant on today.
What?
JP saw it in my face.
bag.
Yeah. No, I've got some in my car. I just realized that. I guess I should not walk on the walking pad.
Probably not.
No. But you know when like your armpits get sticky? And you're like, oh, I forgot.
Allison.
Okay. Anyway, so I didn't really watch much. It was uneventful. I don't really care about either of those teams, but I guess it could have been worse. I just hate that the Broncos didn't make it. I feel like Bo Nix could have made that way more interesting. Anybody disagree?
Yeah, if he was healthy. I think if he was healthy, they could have probably beaten the Patriots, but
Well, yeah. Did y'all see Sean Payton is like melting down?
No.
Apparently he's losing his mind. And there's lots of issues in the Broncos locker room
Really?
right now. Yeah. Where he's like blaming everybody. Did y'all see where he started talking about how many injuries Bo Nix has had to his ankle?
You mean because people don't block for him?
Well, and we'll talk about all the surgeries he's had throughout his career. And Bo Nix had to come out and say, that's not really for him to tell. That's not cool. Because that can really hurt your
chances.
Yeah. Anyway, apparently everybody's saying Sean Payton is losing his mind.
Ooh.
And it's not very good.
You know what would be great?
What?
Is if I knew who Sean Payton was.
it's the Broncos head
Oh,
coach.
you know Sean.
Do I know Sean? Would I know him if I saw him?
Yes. And
I
what
go,
was
this
the
is Sean.
controversy? Because he was at the
Saints.
thank you. And something bad happened there, like something sketchy.
All right.
What did he do?
I can't remember.
Come on.
All right, I can't. I know there was some allegation.
You know, I'm
I need to see a picture because I am for Bo Nix. And I agree. You don't go tell people your stuff. That is between you and your doctor. And you're just stirring it up, trying to make somebody else look bad. So stop. That's what I have to say about that.
Okay, I'm gonna show. Look, Sean Payton. You know him. No?
No.
Wow.
Abs.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know him.
Well, you know who else people don't know?
Who?
Bad Rabbit,
They don't know Bad Rabbit.
aka Flop.
Or his sugarcane fields on the grounds of the Super Bowl.
Can we tell the Flop story?
Yeah, I
too,
thought
on
about
the other
adding
side?
that in the montage.
Did you watch it? Tim Burchett's video about his bunny rabbit Flop.
We'll play it next.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll be back with funny Bad Bunny.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. All the fields we go, laughing all the way.
You people, this is golf! Not a rock concert!
Why are you going home?
I got sent home for suggesting we do a nativity this year. Apparently I'm Islamophobic.
And what's for lunch?
All they sell is curry now, thanks to Labour and the illegals.
We all know the story, right? 1955, Montgomery, Alabama. Rosa Parks, she's this tired seamstress. She refuses to give up her seat to this white guy. Rosa Parks was a calculating revolutionary whose actions were part of this broader left-wing conspiracy, but the myth that we're all taught is designed to hide this and the radicalism that created it so that we're taught, some feel-good narrative when we're in kindergarten.
Look at MLK and Stanley Levison, who was the CFO of the Communist Party of America, who used Martin Luther King. I mean, he wrote part of the I Have a Dream speech, and he kind of saw MLK as a tool or puppet. Why is there a communist tie-in into all of it? It's just strange to me. It's almost like just like today, like there needed to be a fighting in a racial war almost for them to try to implement what they wanted to implement. So it's strange.
It is my observation that the communists were using the civil rights movement as one more attempt to control the population, because it is their belief that communism can't succeed without first socialism succeeding. And so I think that their point was revolution.
What's different about Minneapolis versus the civil rights movement is that the civil rights movement needed to happen. I don't know if it needed to happen that way. Don't remember communism coming out of it or socialism. But is that the end result of what happened?
I think the end result, if you take communism by its definition of seizing the means of production, what they ended up seizing were our classrooms and our textbooks, and being able to tell a narrative that has spun in their favor.
That's good, Abs.
That's good. It's coffee.
Still thinking.
That is getting unwound, and it's time, because there's so much we know that's not true, not just about this, but about many other things. But I think that was what they were able to do. And so now they're reproducing other agitators in other areas of our society.
You're so smart.
We shall discuss Jeffrey Epstein, starting with Kash Patel saying there was no evidence of any children being abused. Essentially, this is what he says. We have been lied to. That is my big takeaway.
I do want to add the Deputy Attorney General Blanche. He not only said physical abuse, but he said death, physical abuse, and injury, which means what?
There was death, physical abuse, and injury.
But you put out something like this in regards to Jeffrey Epstein, and they're talking about this, my ears perk up, and I'm like, maybe Jen Caviezel wasn't absolutely crazy. It's all kind of starting to come together. And then all the stuff, does anybody have the Pizzagate stuff? Everybody thought those people were nuts too. And I think Pizzagate, if you read through these texts, emails, is real.
For too long, not all the pastors, but some of our pastors told us that Christians shouldn't be involved in politics. This is what happens when you abdicate the responsibility for being a civil magistrate, our God-given duty. This crap is what happens when we go, yep, y'all do it. We're just going to hang on till Jesus comes back. This is why it matters that we are involved in politics right here.
The mountain of circumstantial evidence in these files is amazing, to say the least. Bongino made his big return to his podcast today, and his whole, these people are talking about Epstein and the files. They don't even know. They didn't see what I saw.
Welcome back to Rightside. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And we're just doing the things in the break like always. So, JP, what about we discuss, or actually, do you want to play the Sad Rabbit by Tim Burchett as we talk about Bad Bunny?
Rabbit, but yeah.
Well, bad rabbit, sad rabbit, the rabbit.
He's just so funny. I don't know if anybody else will think this is funny.
Oh,
it's funny.
Okay, well,
I love it.
But just picture him, because he's standing out. If you can't see it, he's standing out in front of the Capitol Hill Club, was this where they all go and hang out and drink wine and make all their deals.
Yes.
And so I guess TMZ was hanging out in front of the Capitol Hill Club. And is he in his Carhartt jacket?
I thought he was.
Yes.
So he's coming out of the fancy club in his Carhartt jacket. And he's usually not in a bad mood, but I've never seen him I thought, he had the flu last week. So I thought, gosh, he's really well rested and kind of chipper. And this is the story that came out.
Dude, I wouldn't know if Bad Bunny walked up here and asked me for if he could borrow my cell phone. I really don't know who he is. I used to have a Bad Bunny. I had this Flemish giant rabbit. His name was Flop. He had one ear that flopped over.
Oh, nice.
And I always remembered, and somebody had another Flemish giant and they wanted to breed it. And I said, well, let's go easy on that. So they bring the dadgum thing over. It was Christmas Day. I'll never forget this. and Flop and this other his name was Caramel, and I say Caramel to aggravates my wife and daughter, so I keep saying Caramel. And so Caramel, we put it in the cage beside it, and they're getting to know each other. Put them together. Whew. It's true what they say about rabbits, dude.
Oh.
And, yeah. And my nephew was like, Uncle Tim, what's Flop doing to Caramel? And I go back in the house, dude. It's not my job to give the sex talk here.
Oh my God.
And then about a week later, Flop died of a heart attack. So what do you know? I guess he died doing what he loved.
I forgot about the heart attack part.
That's
Go back in the house,
fantastic.
dude.
It's not my job.
Come on, dude. Well, I can
So-
tell you the two. Never mind. I'll wait. Yeah, stay tuned.
So it's funny because Congressman Burchell's like, I wouldn't know it if he came up and asked me to use my cell phone. And they did a whole kind of montage of NFL players from the Super Bowl, both teams saying, hey, tell me a song Bad Bunny sings. Tell me, do you know Bad Bunny? None of them knew who he was. Like one player said DMTF, but it was wrong. It was like he didn't even get the letters right on the song. So what was that? Why him last night?
I can tell you exactly why it was him, because the NFL is trying to become international. They've talked about, getting an international team in the league. Every year they're doing more and more international games, like in London and Germany. I think they did one in South America this year. So they're trying to become an international brand, an international sport. And that's why, because Bad Bunny is very popular in the South American culture and globally, a lot more than America. But that's the reason why, is they're trying to branch out from being just an American league to an international league. Roger Goodell has also floated the idea of having a Super Bowl outside of the United States.
What?
Yeah. So that's the reason why.
Well, that's just stupid.
It is, and I don't like it. So it's not even the performance itself, which I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you what I thought about the performance itself. I know it was 99% in Spanish, but I don't like American culture and American sports like football being overrun by international. It's almost like globalism, like the sports version of globalism, trying to get rid of the American culture of football. So I don't know. If you were an American even like 20 to 30 years ago and watched that halftime performance, you would think like we got invaded by Spanish, whatever, like
conquistadors.
Yeah. So I like, I don't know. I don't like American football being American. So, but Roger Goodell is trying to change the NFL to make it an international thing.
You watched it for
I
research
did.
purposes.
I
And what
did.
did your research tell you?
When we're done, can we play the grandma clip, please?
Mhm.
Okay. If you are purely watching for a spectacle, it was a spectacle. Like lots of dancers, it was a show. I remember when the cheerleaders in high school competed to go and be one of the dancers for the Super Bowl, because one of my dearest friends was that girl. And it was a big deal. And it's been co-opted by globalists, which means you stand for nothing because you want this uniculture that doesn't mean anything. It was a Marxist take on reality. There was a proletariat, and they were the proletariat. They were the sugarcane workers. They were the ones climbing the poles. They were the ones clearly meant to be the small put upon people. There was sexual depravity. I'm not sure if you saw the guys simulating sex in the truck. It was gross. And they're not immersive of the US at all. It was not in English. The flags at the end, I understand they're trying to make this global, but this is America's pastime. This is about America. And we were made to feel foreign in our own country. I think it was a big freaking deal at the end of it when the last firework went off and shot up from the top of the stadium. I thought something big has just happened right now. and they were trying to take it over, and I loathed it, even if for the just not, the dance was vile, and it's hard to sit there and watch it. And I get that there's a celebration of culture. I get that there are people who have immigrated legally and set up their bodegas and worked their butts off. I mean, my gosh, think about Cuban Americans. Amazing. But the message they sent was obvious. And I thought it was, I loathed it.
It's a really strong word.
I did. I loathed it.
So we turned and we watched the Turning Point. Did you watch that after or anything? You didn't watch it?
I've
Okay.
only heard just a tiny bit of that.
So we'll
Kid
have
Rock
to
song.
discuss that as well. But we turned and watched it during halftime. We watched the Turning Point halftime. So I didn't watch Bad Flop Bunny until this morning. And like you said, Abs, I thought it was highly entertaining. Like the set was over the top.
Yes.
I mean, it was bizarre what they could pull off. And the whole premise was like they had these, I guess, sugar cane set up. And as they were walking through, they're, the little guys like you see in Cuba playing chess, and then the ladies doing nails. And then he went to a little market, and then he went, and this is all kind of in this jungle looking thing. And it's very much just dancers and kind of Latin American culture. Then there was a wedding, and that's what I couldn't figure out. So, and apparently that couple actually got married.
That's what I thought. It looked like it.
Yeah. Apparently they actually got married. And so the whole setting, like above the sugarcane on the stage, that was kind of below. And then on the stage was this wedding that took place. And after the vows and they kiss, hey, at least it was a boy and a girl.
I know. And Lady Gaga.
They open and Lady Gaga singing, and I couldn't figure out what the heck she was doing there, but I guess she was like the wedding singer, and she was singing at the reception, because then they danced and they had all these cute little girls in their little white dresses dancing. It was very family, or that part was very family oriented.
I agree with you on that.
It was kind of cute. And then it went on, but like sung the whole thing in Spanish. You got like a minute of Lady Gaga singing in English, and that was it. And it just was bizarre. And that part was terrible. You know how, I mean, we spent 2 weeks in China, but I was so over hearing the Chinese language. You know how it just kind of grates on you? You're like, it starts to, and if I had been there, especially, I could fast forward on YouTube this morning. I would have been so frustrated. You can't even get into it. I mean, it was awful. And then apparently live, the subtitles were in Spanish too. So you're singing Spanish and then you put the subtitles in Spanish. Like, what are you doing to us? But let me finish with, I thought that the performance was way better than I thought he'd come out in a dress with like a pentagram on his head or something.
Or ice out on his dress.
Yeah. But the dancing was a little risque, but I didn't think it was any worse than what we've seen in years past. Did you? Because to me, the shows have gotten kind of smutty anyway. Did you think it was worse?
I thought it was worse. I thought it was much worse because they were so gaying it up for parts of it that I was like, oh, gross. They made us feel foreign, and they made us watch what they wanted us to watch. They forced it on us. And that's what they do. And then turn around and call us fascist for wanting to be free, but they're the fascist. So that part, it was down near the pickup truck.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it when they were like kind of behind the door or something? Yeah. I thought, the show wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it was the most inappropriate. Like, that would have been cool to watch if you're flipping through on cable and you come across a Spanish channel and you're like,
Telemundo, fabulous.
Okay, that's really cool. But such a slap in the face to America. I mean, it was reprehensible. I don't understand it. I don't, even if you want to take, it's kind of like people that say like the Republican Party's big tent, we welcome everyone. Yeah, we welcome everyone, but you kind of got to stick to the platform we have. You don't go
Right.
into the Republican Party thinking you're going to change everything. We're conservatives for a reason. Look, take the NFL, get fans from all over the globe, but don't change who you are. Like, you are America's game. You're the Cowboys. This is just, so I don't like having to all of a sudden change who we are to appeal to that global audience. That feels icky.
Yeah, I agree. And the whole message of the only thing stronger than hate is love. I mean, that's a slap at America again. Like you said, they're trying to say that Trump is installing hate and he hates all cultures. And so that's exactly what that was. It was targeted to be anti-American. That was the intent of the show.
It was a punch in the face to the heartland. That's what that was. And it was a cheap view of that whole concept of what love is. And the whole love your neighbor crowd helped usher that in.
Yeah.
He said something to President Trump directly at the very end. Do y'all know what that was? He said it in Spanish.
I don't.
I didn't listen.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
I'll
By
say
then I was like, oh.
the best part of the halftime show, in my opinion, was
The end?
no, I didn't even watch it at all. But I saw later that apparently my favorite baseball player, the Braves' best player, Ronald Acuna, was on the stage because they had like all these Latin American celebrities there, like, to be on the stage, and he somehow made the cut. But there's a picture. He's standing right behind. I'm gonna put up. He's standing right behind where this risque dancing is happening, and he looks like the most uncomfortable.
Yep.
He's like, "What am I doing?" It's like me in college when my friends made me go to the bars with them. I was like, "I want to."
Can you play Grandma just real quick?
Yes.
Just a few seconds before we go to break.
Let me unmute it real quick.
Because I think that's how we all felt.
So this is Grandma watching the Bad Bunny show, the Super Bowl halftime show.
I mean, like, who is this man? Golly! You can't sing. I mean, like, what is this? Golly! This is ridiculous. And got the American flag and all these other flags. And yeah, God bless you too. Get off the stage. Please get off the stage. Get off. Put the game back on. I can't stand this. Tell me that. I mean, what in the world is all this foolishness?
I love you, Grandma. I love
She
you, Grandma.
sounds like Miss Wilma.
She does, doesn't she?
Get off.
She does sound like Miss Wilma. Anyway, that's how we all felt, and that's apparently what people thought. So,
Abs, you didn't watch it, but when we come back, JP, I want your thoughts on the Turning Point halftime show.
Okay.
All right, we'll do that on the other side.
They don't even know what they're talking about, and there's these doomers and these black pillars, and then you see these emails released. It's like, hey, knucklehead, I can see pictures of Prince Andrew over a girl. I can see emails of Epstein talking to people about underage girls. I can see Epstein talking to all these people. All I'm saying is that shouldn't be the end of it. Okay. So if you're gonna say, well, you don't know what I know. Well, I saw the files that I'm sure you saw. And if you're saying that's not worth another investigation and we just need to move on, then I don't even know what to say to that.
Have y'all ever heard the term cute aggression? I have never heard this term, but it's a legit thing. It's a normal emotional reaction where someone feels a sudden urge to squeeze, pinch, or say exaggerated things like, I could just eat you up, when they see something extremely cute, such as a baby, a puppy, or a kitten. Even though the word aggression is in the name, it doesn't mean you want to hurt them. But psychologists think cute aggression is your brain's way of balancing overwhelmingly positive emotions. When you feel something is too adorable, your emotional response spikes so high that the brain adds a tiny counter feeling, aggression-like energy, to regulate it.
That makes sense.
I had no clue, but think about that. Like, your aunt is like, oh, you're just so cute. Or you see a baby and you're like, I just want to eat you up.
Yes.
I didn't know that was an actual thing. Didn't know that 3 Alabama congressmen voted this week to fund child mutilation, DEI initiatives, and abortions paid for by your tax money. Robert Adderholt, Mike Rogers, and Dale Strong of Alabama all voted against Amendment number 2, which would remove these initiatives from HR 7148. It was brought by Ralph Norman of South Carolina, who is actually one of my favorite congressmen. He said, hey, let's pass the bill, but can we just take these things out? And those three from Alabama voted to keep your tax dollars paying for those things. I don't know about y'all, but there's lines in the sand for me. If you're going to call yourself a conservative, if you're going to call yourself a Republican, those are lines you don't cross. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're compromised. I don't know if they like child mutilation, but it is unacceptable that these three voted for this. You need to call their offices and let them know how you feel. If you live in their district, need to reverse course here because this isn't looking good.
What if everything we think we know is wrong? Hey y'all, it's Abs with Rightside. And during this Black History Month, perhaps you've heard me talk about my quest on the show, but I'm on a quest to find out what's true. Because if we've interacted with what isn't true, then we have to stop and ask why. What we think matters because it affects the way we behave. And if we've been told things that aren't true by people who have nefarious intentions so that they can capture us and get us to do what they want, rather than us living freely, not as victims, not in need of perpetual handouts, wouldn't that change everything? Wouldn't that set us free? Here's my first recommendation. Chad O. Jackson has, well, he's got several documentaries. One is Uncle Tom 1 and 2. Start there. Or check out Chad O. Jackson in History Revelata. I've started the MLK series only on episode 1 and my mind is blown. Consider Vince Everett Ellison, who's written among other books, The Iron Triangle. It will blow your mind. Or Daryl Harrison and Virgil Walker with Just Thinking. They have several episodes on Black history, BLM, etc. I want to know the truth because the truth matters. I'll see you soon.
Am I the only one that's sick and tired of a bunch of yeah buts from our Republicans in Congress? Yeah, we voted to keep gender mutilation and abortions and DI initiatives all paid for by your taxpayer dollars in the resolution to continue funding the government. But it included, some other stuff that it's really complicated and nuanced and you wouldn't understand. Or how about, we voted to keep funding $5 billion to refugee welfare in this resolution to keep funding the government as well. But it's actually not adding any new immigration and it's upholding current law and President Trump wanted us to pass it. It's all pathetic and insane. If you're a Republican in Congress and you are voting for this crap and you lash out on your constituents that are calling it out, then the problem is not us, the problem is you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up Amendment number 2 to HR 7148.
Welcome back to Right Side Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So y'all, you watched the Turning Point halftime show. What did you think? Oh dear.
You want me to go first?
This is not good.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I expected more of like the typical halftime spectacle.
Yeah.
Like a little bit more of a show. And it was more like 4 people singing 2 of their songs each. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't Super Bowl halftime energy. And that was a little disappointing. I thought Kid Rock was really good. But even some of the songs they chose were really slow and kind of like you want some pump you up kind of.
You want some zhuzh.
Some zhuzh and maybe a little coordination, like choreography.
Yeah, no choreography?
Or like
No.
like all 4 of them coming together to sing something.
Yeah, no. There was no it was like one song done, next song done, next song done.
Was it spliced together or was it all one show?
It was all one show.
Yeah, but it was pre-recorded.
Was
it on a stage or were they on a field?
They were on a stage inside with just people lining. Again, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't a halftime show. I think they could have done a better job. And then it was all country. So if you don't like country music, which, with Bad Bunny, you got Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga, you got, it was all kind of Spanish, whatever. But I just thought they could have done a little better job switching it up and making it a little more energetic. But I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I thought Kid Rock was the best one. I think him adding the verse about Jesus in his song was really good. But I don't know. Both weren't blow me away. I mean, I didn't watch the full Bad Bunny, but the clips I've seen is about what I expected. So it was not, the Turning Point one wasn't a Super Bowl spectacle, like you said, and I agree. And it wasn't the best alternative in terms of like quality of the performance, but I'd still take that over Bad Bunny's anti-American Super Bowl halftime show.
At least we could understand what they were singing about and we could sing along.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a part about Kid Rock too where it seemed like it was lip synced because the audio and the visual. Did you notice that live? The audio and the visual was off, and people thought it was lip synced. But
That's
I
because
didn't.
you're a technician.
I didn't. No, I didn't know it was pre-recorded either. Until you said that, so that makes sense. But
Rate it 1 out of 10.
I'll give it a.
Oh, you're going lower.
I'll go with 6.
Okay.
Sinclair?
I was going to do like a 7.
Okay.
6, 7.
I knew it was coming.
6, 7. I mean, it wasn't bad, but just about, and it went long. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so if you kept watching, you missed the start of the game.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's not good.
I came back and they were in the middle of their first drive back. Yeah.
It didn't matter. You didn't miss a lot.
I know. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the game.
Bless old Drake May. That was a lot.
I
there were
him
so
too.
many things that he seems like a great guy.
Just wasn't his night.
Mm-mm. No.
So go Seahawks. Whatevs. I don't know. Do we even care?
No, not really. Unless it's our team. I don't think. Well,
Yeah, it's me.
It's a fun thing to do, but I don't know that many people care.
Last night just felt off all around.
Yeah.
All right. We will be back with more news on the other side.
An amendment to withdraw gender mutilation, abortions, and DEI initiatives from this resolution to continue funding the government. And members of our own Alabama delegation, including Dale Strong, Robert Adderholt, and Mike Rogers, all voted against it and had a bunch of yeah buts in response to that, of course. And then also go look up the $5 billion in refugee welfare that passed the House to be included in the resolution to continue funding the government, which every single member of Alabama's House voted for this. That's right. All members of our Alabama delegation in the House voted to continue funding it. Props to Tuberville and Katie Britt in the Senate, though, that voted against it. But when you call out this stuff to representatives, in our Alabama delegation, and their response is to lash out and become petty because they're simply calling this stuff out, I'm sorry. The problem is you. And I don't know, maybe you're not cut out for politics because the yeah buts, we're sick and tired of them. And all you're saying with your yeah buts is that this thing means more important than stopping funding to refugee welfare to the tune of $5 billion of your taxpayer dollars. Just saying. The Democrats, when they're in power, don't have a bunch of yeah buts. They just get stuff done for their side and destroy America. Meanwhile, when Republicans try to save America, it's just a bunch of yeah buts to continue funding the crap that Democrats want to fund. And you know what? We're sick and tired of it.
In case you missed it, Alabama, all 5 of your Republican congressmen voted last week to continue funding refugee welfare. Yes, to the tune of $5 billion. Barry Moore, Gary Palmer, Dale Strong, Robert Adderholt, and Mike Rogers, Republicans, all voted to give $5 billion in your tax dollars to refugees in America. I don't get it. With all that's going on in Minnesota, how in the world can a conservative continue to give into programs that are obviously fraudulent and being used against America? To me, this borderlines on treason, and I'm not trying to be dramatic, but we are not representing American people anymore. When we're $39 trillion in debt, and we're giving billions still to people that aren't even American citizens. And here's the worst part. Probably your congressman, if you call and ask why they voted for House Resolution 7006, they're going to say, well, there were some really good things in there for America. We had to vote for it to continue this program. Well, that's like me coming up to you and right before I punch you in the face saying, you're really pretty and really nice. It doesn't work. Like at some point, we have to stop giving money to the people that hate us, to the things that are going to destroy this country. And why these five, the three of them I get, but Barry Moore and Gary Palmer, I'm so confused. I have no clue why they wouldn't stand up, because 24 Republicans voted against this bill. Why didn't they? It's not like they'd be the only ones. And even if you are the only one, do the right thing.
And it is a big deal because one of the most popular podcasters in the world, Sean Ryan, was told to stop talking about this story.
Last week, I received a demand letter from lawyers representing Kanakuk Ministries, a Christian summer camp in Missouri. They're threatening to sue me for defamation because of something I said on my podcast with Congressman Ro Khanna,
which smacks of arrogance and more abuse. Because there are plenty of people who've come forward to talk about it. I was looking, so these camps, there's a lot of people that have been at these camps, Allison Sinclair, like a lot. 500,000 over the years.
Are you talking about
in general, like over all these years?
Or you mean Kanakuk camps?
Kanakuk camps, okay, since 1926 has hosted more than 500,000 campers and 50,000 staffers in Missouri and its many international locations. These stories that we heard about happened in Missouri.
It's in Branson, right?
And yes, in Branson, Missouri. And it's a sports camp. Like it's a fun evangelical sports themed camp. Is that fair to say?
I don't know that.
Well, ish.
It's just where all the cool kids go.
Yeah. Well, Peter Newman, who was one of the camp's directors, years ago pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 6 boys. But since then, the camp has touted itself as a leader in child safety, holding seminars, etc. Except interviews with dozens of victims and former camp employees reported that they didn't seek justice for the victims. They prioritized ministering to those accused of wrongdoing.
Hey, Lindsay, why don't you just admit that you're gay and then people won't blackmail you anymore?
Start shooting. Just start shooting. Honestly, at this point, you don't have anything to lose because they're already going to shoot you for doing nothing. Start shooting back. I don't know.
Stop it. Get some help.
Abortion is an act of love. Abortion is an act of love.
Abortion is an act of love. When I first heard the slogan that abortion is an act of love, I retracted just a little. And then I started thinking about my sister's story. And I started thinking about individual case stories and saving lives and saving futures. That abortion can be the most loving act that we can have.
I beg your pardon? Is it the position of the ACLU that people should have to be U.S. citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
It is the ACLU's position that voting should be fair and accessible and to everyone who is.
Welcome in to the second hour of Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. In the 3:30 block, we'll be joined by Joan Reynolds, who's the acting chairwoman of the Alabama Republican Party. But before that, we're going to jump into your text and whiny Olympians. But first, your texts.
If y'all want to text in during the show and let us know your thoughts, the number is 833-687-4448 or 833-68-RIGHT, RIGHT. Let's see. David from Madison says, in my opinion, Bad Bunny was only used as a political tool and nothing more. The whole thing was used as a political tool because the broadcasters knew it would stir up controversy and it would get people to watch, regardless of how entertaining or good it actually was. The major advertisers knew it was going to be heavily watched because of the controversy behind it, so they dumped tons of money into advertising and during halftime. That's all it was. Now that the Super Bowl is over, Bad Bunny is going to be forgotten like many of the other artists that have performed during the halftime shows. The funny thing is, it wasn't even a controversy until the artists started disrespecting the United States, and that just added fuel to the fire for whoever it was that laid out this campaign.
That's good. It's a good word.
You know who's in charge of picking the halftime singers?
Roger Goodell?
No.
Who?
Jay-Z.
Wait, really?
He's like put Jay-Z in charge of helping court. Did you see Jay-Z there last night?
Yes.
Like, how can... I don't know, I won't get into that. How can he go out in public?
They have no shame.
Yeah. Anyway. No wonder.
We also talked about how TV shows used to end, or TV used to end with the national anthem every night. Rhett from Danville says 4 a.m. the Country Boy Eddie show out of Birmingham Channel 6.
Yes, I was up early enough to see the Country Boy Eddie show sometimes.
What did Eddie do on his country show?
Is sang music, talked to people, was generally just a good old boy.
Was it
having
like
fun.
hee-haw, like one man hee-haw?
Yeah. Well, he had friends. Eddie and friends. I mean, there were people on there. It was awesome.
Did you watch Hee Haw?
Oh, yes, I watched Hee Haw.
Okay.
I wanted to be one of the Hee Haw girls.
There were Hee Haw girls?
Yeah.
What did they clog?
I was 7.
What's a
they
Hee
had
Haw
like
girl?
cute pigtails and they would pop up from behind the hay bale.
Oh!
I thought as an 8-year-old
look
that
like
would be fun.
Ellie Mae Clampett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were cute.
Her hot sisters.
So
that pop up
anywho.
behind the hay bales.
But yeah, I remember Country Boy Eddie. JP's like, oh, girls. All right. What else you got,
That's
sir?
funny. I forgot about them.
Let's see.
I love that we can read each other's facial expressions right now. Something got skipped. Carry on.
It did. Louis from Trinity says the TV sign-off was in a scene of Forrest Gump. I believe it's when he was staying with Lieutenant Dan.
Okay, hold on. What did I just miss? I didn't see the facial expression.
Allison, you
I missed it.
gotta like be dialed in on JP.
I'm out of the loop.
We got a text I'm not going to read. Not because of the text, but the text was talking about some of the translated lyrics, and I'm not going to read what the translated
Ew.
Okay.
Ew.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeremy from Madison says, this concludes our broadcast day with an American flag.
Boo.
Vince from Hazel Green says, I can remember watching the TV until the station turned off. The first thing you saw was Blue Angels, and while they were flying, you listened to the text from the poem High Flight by John Gillespie McGee, then the national anthem, and then the tone with the test pattern. This was in Huntsville when we only had 3 stations, and said this was in the late 60s.
That's so cute.
Allison, it was on when you were little. You just didn't get up early enough.
The Ted's optimist sleeps in.
At least you slept well.
Yeah,
I mean,
silly. He's up at 4 to watch.
What is wrong
boy
with me? But apparently,
named Eddie. Ew.
Country Boy can survive.
By the way, sorry, go ahead.
Is that what he's saying?
No.
Oh.
By the way,
saying the song.
we got a ton of texts, so this whole segment could just be
Oh, go ahead. Just read them to us, sir.
Okay. Jeff from Athens says, I've not watched a Super Bowl live since the invention of VHS tapes. I'm reminded of what the great Rush Limbaugh postulated about the Super Bowl. He wondered how this major event could begin so patriotic and then become total debauchery by halftime. It was once again, pleasure to fast forward through the halftime garbage. I missed, quote, Rotten Rabbit, as did many others.
Yes, sir. Is what I say to that. And you're right.
Ronnie from Athens alludes or adds credibility to what the other text I read. He just said, if you translate the Bad Bunny lyric, it's not family friendly at all.
So there were some Spanish families sitting in the audience with their little kids going, oh my gosh.
Probably. Lisa from Huntsville says, thank you. I was wondering if I was the only one who felt unwelcome in my own country.
Yep.
Mark from Red Bay says, for some reason, I'm thinking about Elmer Fudd singing Kill the Rabbit.
Killed a rabbit. Killed a rabbit.
Jerry from Decatur says the whole halftime show was a middle finger to all of the right side folks in this country. Airborne.
Amen. Indeed, it was.
It's true.
Kevin from Hartsville says, didn't hear Bad Bunny, but some of the show looked like a Dora the Explorer reality show. LOL.
Listen, who was the guy on Dora the Explorer? Dora and Diego. He looked a little bit like you're thinking he could have been Diego, which who didn't love Dora the Explorer when our kids were little? But that's
we had
right.
a cat named Tico after Tico on that show.
I have a child who has an imaginary friend named Tico.
It's funny.
Isn't that funny?
Tico is kind of obscure, but that's actually a great description of what happened and the set. And I felt like he came out in white, like a white shirt and white pants and white shoes. And did you feel like his gloves were like Mickey Mouse gloves, like just a little bit too big?
Well,
it was weird.
What I
Something
noticed
was weird.
was his white jersey more than his gloves. So I should have paid attention to the gloves because you're probably right. They were probably just too big.
She didn't wear white gloves. Anyway.
Stephen from Athens says, I completely agree with you, beautiful ladies and JP. Let me ask, have you ever heard the term neuro-linguistic programming? That's what they were attempting. And I hasten to add, Satan is the author of confusion. That's what the quote Bad Bunny nonsense was about. Chaos and confusion.
What's neuro-linguistic confusion?
Programming.
Abs, you're the smartest one here.
That's not true. It's basically getting you, it's a Marxist technique. It's getting you used to this language. It's getting you used to depravity through language. We saw it. We also heard it if you can speak Spanish. And basically, to me, my version is it's softening you up so that you're used to what they're saying. And then you're like, that's just what we do now.
Kinda
That's just
like
how they sing.
All the kids games where they kill each other.
Yes.
You're like, blood and guts. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What?
Those games are great.
You're not a kid.
Desensitized.
You're a man.
Okay, but I played Call of Duty my whole childhood, and I'm not some maniac. I think the games are fun.
I didn't say that, but I said through our TV programs and our gaming programs, you watch people. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. In a movie, I cry more when the dog dies than when the human gets its head chopped off. I'm like, oh, well, they deserved it. And I've seen a million heads get chopped off. But look at Lassie. Lassie didn't deserve to die.
You know what? And Call of Duty game World War II, there was a mode where you reenact D-Day and you're players on both sides. And I mean, I was a kid growing up playing the Germans literally with the machine guns just
did blood go everywhere?
Yeah. Heads, arms flying. Yeah.
But it was a military game. You were defending the United States.
Okay, well, not when you were on the German side, but yeah.
Did you play Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Did you steal cars?
Yes.
And shoot things?
Yes. Yeah.
And buy drugs?
All right.
I don't think buying drugs is
Friends, what do y'all think about all that?
What station did you listen to when you were in your stolen automobile? You know, you can change the stations.
The hip hop one.
I am learning a lot.
I mean, during COVID, we would do GTA heists till like 6 a.m. Like my dad would have to walk by my room getting ready for work and would have to come back and look at my room and be like, are you serious? Like,
what else am I going to do, Dad? Do Dad.
Or, okay, let's go here since you're a little touchy about that one, JP. Just a little sensitive with, gay couples kissing on TV. It all the time now. Commercials, TV shows, to where you're kind of like, I mean, I'm not, but a lot of people are like, whatever. Yeah. I mean, seen it a million times.
No, I see all of the people that think that Call of Duty, like,
oh, he can't even go on to the next subject.
Plants this. Okay, fine. Yellow Dog Mike from Huntsville, who's a liberal texter, says,
I love libs.
You folks are nothing but whiny babies. Nobody cares about your feelings. It was a good game, and Bad Bunny was great. Vote blue. Okay, you had me until you said good game. It was not a good game. I'm just kidding.
No, not whiny. Used our opinion. You got to share your opinion, so miss me with that, please.
Cash me outside. Yeah, no, we read his opinion, and we disagree, but we still
We're
like
not whiny.
liberals. Wait, what's his name? Yellow liberal?
Yellow dog.
Yellow dog. Liberal.
Let's just,
Yeah.
you know,
What even is yellow dog?
it's what the Democrats used to be. They were conservative on some issues.
A yellow dog Democrat. Well, what's a blue dog?
Super progressive.
I don't think
I'm
Yellow
kidding.
Dog's very conservative on anything because he used to call Phil.
This is the old days.
Oh no, I know, but Phil, he's called me Hitler Youth before. He's called Phil a North Korean dictator with his Hitler Youth sidekick. I don't think this guy. He may
But
be a blue
definitely
dog.
not a yellow dog.
He's
no.
profiling you just because you have a shaved head.
I guess so.
That's
Watch
not
out,
fair.
JP.
We don't judge Yellow Dog. I thought the liberals were supposed to be love everybody, accept
Intolerant.
everybody. Your truth is your
Great.
truth. Nobody can tell you your truth.
We never
well,
call
Yellow Dog
names.
just told me that I was stupid. Oh, whiny.
He said we were
for
whiny.
saying my opinion. That's
Okay.
not very loving. I guess hate is stronger than love. That's all I got about that.
Okay,
I
wait.
love y'all.
We gotta go to break. So a couple more quick. We're not gonna be able to get
When we
to all of them.
can we do it when we come back?
Yeah, sure. I'll just
Okay,
read one
let's
more
do it
before
when
we
we
go
come
to
back.
break. One more before we go to break. Matt from Madison said, I most definitely made the correct decision. I have not watched or cared about anything NFL since the Colin Kaepernick debacle. What a grand mess the NFL is.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
It's just kind of
Mainly.
gone downhill.
It's
I thought
fine.
maybe we were turning a corner,
I did too.
but
and-
no,
No.
they still doubling down.
Whatever.
All right. We'll be back with more Yellow Dog liberals.
That would be a U.S. citizen.
That doesn't make sense.
Donald J. Trump calling Thomas Massey a moron at the National Prayer Breakfast. That's the thing. It was this morning.
Now, no matter what we do, this moron, no matter what it is, we could put them all together. I think, Mike, what would you say the top 5 things? Name them. We'll put them in one bill, and we'll put them before we get 100% vote, except for this guy named Thomas Massey. There's something wrong with him.
Why we got to be like that?
Yeah.
I guess because I thought Massey did the right thing. We were calling all of Congress out yesterday for allowing, what was it, $1.3 trillion to go to scholarships for higher education for underprivileged kids in Egypt. And that's what Trump is saying. Massey's a terrible person. Massey went through, he voted, or he put an amendment out to make it so the government can't put a kill switch on your car. Congress voted it down. The Republican majority voted it down. So why is he an idiot? And even if
Well, he said moron.
I'm sorry. Is there a difference?
Probably technically, but I don't know.
Hey,
I'm just
Siri.
making fun.
This is
What's the difference between a moron and an idiot?
According to Merriam-Webster, an idiot is a foolish or stupid person, while a moron is a mildly mentally retarded person.
Wait.
Siri said it. Okay.
Siri said retarded?
Yes, mildly retarded.
Is that because she's British?
Yeah, probably.
Mildly retarded.
She sounded so nice when she was saying it.
Existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home.
The whole messaging of the younger generation doesn't work hard enough to even own a home. First of all, it's awful optics, and that's a great way to lose Gen Z. So it's not great messaging. But then second off, it's just wrong. I think the narrative that my generation doesn't work hard enough to own a home, and that's why they're struggling to own homes, is just not true.
I think the enemy making the older generation the enemy is also wrong. Just like it's wrong to make the younger generation the enemy. Nobody's the enemy. Money's money. And we had better get in control of it if we want to get out of this at all. He pitted two groups against each other. That's wrong. That's not what we're for. We are for working on things we can work on so that everybody benefits. That's conservatism. And he didn't say that well.
I think instead of saying, I want all the boomers to get rich off their homes, I think he was saying, I don't want the boomers to lose their fannies when we drive housing prices down. Like, it's not that he thinks they're going to get rich off the backs of kids, even though that's what he kind of said. I'm assuming he's like, well, if we drive housing prices down, then all these people that have worked so hard and then have finally gotten there. I think what he's trying to say is, I want them to at least be able to keep the value of their home or make money. I just don't want them to lose money. And that's a reasonable thing to say.
Could we talk about the prevalence of anti-Semitism?
Yes, we can. And anti-Semitism is a real problem. It's been on the left for a really long time. There's a strain of anti-Semitism starting to emerge on the right that I think we should pay attention to. But I would say at the same time, that term anti-Semitism has become just about as useless as the term racism. We know that there are lots of people get accused of racism who are not racist. There are lots of things that people will put that racist label on that are not racism at all. And the same kind of thing can happen with anti-Semitism. If you say what I said a few minutes ago, which is that Jews have to believe in Jesus to be saved, there are people who will say that's anti-Semitic. You say that Jews have to trust in Jesus to find salvation. Some people will say that's anti-Semitic. So we have to be very discerning here about what's actually being talked about. I would say that the flip side of that is if you say Jews can't be saved, for example, like Jews just can't be saved for whatever reason, that the branches on the tree of the covenant that were broken out can't be grafted back in, that would truly be anti-Semitic. If you say that Jews are uniquely malevolent and you use them as a scapegoat and blame them for all the problems, say, of Western society, or you think that, Jews absolutely run the world and control everything. I mean, there are some of these, there are people who will say things like that. That could verge over into a kind of anti-Semitism. If you refuse to acknowledge the good contributions that Jews have made, that could be a form of anti-Semitism. But a lot of things that get labeled anti-Semitism are not anti-Semitism. Criticizing the nation of Israel is not anti-Semitic. Questioning our nation's foreign policy towards Israel is not anti-Semitic. In the Bible, there's a long history of criticizing the Jewish people. Just read the prophets. Read, look at Jesus, look at Paul, and these are Jews who are criticizing other.
Hello, and welcome back to Rightside. I'm just writing something down.
Hello.
All right, JP, because our listeners are the best.
You crying?
You have more texts.
Love them.
I love them so much.
Hello.
Hello,
back to
hello,
Rightside.
hello. Okay, because after we do text, we have our guest, and then we're going to move on to Epstein. We're going to talk a little bit about Nancy Guthrie. We're going to do the three. Like, there's so much more to do. I think we're going to run out of time, but it's okay. But go, JP, go.
Okay, we got a first-time texter.
Go, JP, go.
They said, this first-time texter says, the love of your neighbor, quote, Christians, for sure brought us to this point.
Yeah. Not wrong.
Preach harder.
Clay from Madison says, Bad Bunny looks like Pat from Saturday Night Live got on Ozempic.
Yes.
Just Pat.
Yes.
David from Huntsville says, it was a huge missed opportunity to celebrate and commemorate America's 250th birthday.
Ooh,
what he said.
I didn't even think about that.
Michael from Moulton says, Yellow Dog needs to realize how funny it is to hear a Democrat actually have a concept of not having opinions or not making decisions with emotions. But that's what Dems do. They make messes that need cleaning up, and they call out others for doing exactly what they do.
It's funny how that works.
And see, we still like them. I someday I'll tell a story on the air. I'm in a real conundrum.
Oh, bless it.
What?
It has to do with our neighbors.
Oh, have I met these neighbors?
No.
Okay. All right.
One of these things is not like the like they are very, very liberal.
Did they not like you?
And I really like them.
Oh, but they don't like you.
And one of them asked to be my friend on Facebook. And so now I'm like in this whole, what do I do?
My childhood neighbors, I didn't even know were liberal until I got older, and one of them, or the dad of my childhood neighbors, followed me on Facebook or friended me on Facebook, and he is liberal. But he sees all the stuff, I put up and what I do. So I wonder what he thinks about it. But yeah, liberal neighbors are the worst.
But not only they're lesbians too. And
be yourself, Allison.
Yeah, but they're great. Our dogs play together, and like I really like them. They're very nice people.
Yeah.
And but like very, very liberal. So when she asked to be my friend on Facebook, I just texted her. I said, "Look, if we're friends on Facebook, you still have to be my friend in real life."
Well, you can just tell her we listen and we don't judge.
Yeah, and
we're
she
gonna
just
be
laughed
friends
because apparently she looked through
They always do.
my Facebook stuff.
I have people in my life like that too, and they'll let something slip, and I'm like, well, I knew you were paying attention, but this makes it really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But we have to be ourselves. That's the deal.
Right.
We have to be ourselves. We have to get back to the point where we can talk to one another without beating each other up, agreeing that we are not going to agree. And from our point of view, there's no neutral territory, but we're still going to be your friend. Period. That's just the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
But it's hard because you're like, I know you're judging me. It's fine.
But I think it's so refreshing when, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack the text, but just talking about liberals and interacting, because Yellow Dog probably really doesn't like us, but he listens every day just to make fun of us. But I genuinely like these neighbors, and I like our dogs. They have an Australian Shepherd. They're going to go to herding camp together in Louisiana this summer. And, so I hope we can stay friends. I think that's very important. But we probably just can't talk about a few things, but it's very refreshing to come across people that she obviously saw my Facebook page. It's all public.
Right.
And she still wanted to be my friend.
That's awesome.
So I appreciate that. But yes, you're right. You can never back down. Just like I wouldn't expect them to change their beliefs for me. We can't do the same, but we can speak the truth in love, and our dogs can still go to camp together.
Why not?
I will say this. I'm reaching the point where I do unfollow or unfriend certain liberal people because I just can't stand looking at the crap,
Well,
But
if they're rude or like in your face.
Like the people that I don't know personally, but we're like friends on Instagram because it's a friend of a friend, or maybe I know of them, and they start posting stupid crap like anti-ICE stuff, and like they all posted like the hate is stronger than love. I just unfollow. I want to. It makes me like annoyed.
There are people I will do, or I'll mute for a little bit because I can't deal with it, because the deal is no conversation will happen between that way. And that's what you really want, is for conversations to happen and for people to be open. And we're really not anymore. And I wish that weren't the case. But that's why we exist.
Very true.
To have conversations.
It's a good word. Speaking of, when we come back, we'll have a conversation with Joan Reynolds, the acting chair of the Alabama Republican Party. Also just announced that she is going to be running to be the chairwoman. I think in March is maybe the election. So we'll talk to her, get an update. We'll see you on the other side.
And faithfulness to God. They're not anti-Semitic. It's not an issue of race. It's an issue of covenant faithfulness. It's an issue of obedience to God.
My opponent, Nehemiah John Wall, admitted he tried to vote using a homemade fake ID. We could not be more different. I, like President Trump, support voter ID laws while my opponent breaks them.
There's nothing here that is not very simply explained. And you have to push back immediately on the whole fake homemade ID. Well, guys, I don't have a ID maker in my basement. I don't know where that. Look, I love how he said I admitted to doing that. I'm like, well, I would never admit to that because I kind of can't because I don't even know how I would do that. I had voted one time. I had voted with a ID from the state auditor's office, where I was working as a volunteer press secretary at the time. And this state auditor at the time has come out and said, he approved it, and it was professionally printed by a vendor. This wasn't, something that was fake. It wasn't something that was, had homemade or anything. And so I find these attacks very disingenuous. I find them very deceptive to the public. They're misrepresentations. They are lies. You could argue about the discrepancy of whether that ID was or was not, a valid ID to use at the polls.
But they let you vote.
Oh, all I did was ask the poll worker, does this work? they sent a copy was sent to the probate judge. The probate judge said yes, and I would vote it. Like all I did was ask a question. And so to blow this up and to accuse me of somehow being, voter fraud, look, I was voting in my voting precinct for my vote, my constitutional right, with an ID. Whether you want to argue whether it meets the exact standards of the law or not, this was not voter fraud. And
But it was
breaking the
okayed
law,
by your probate judge.
it was okay by the probate judge. That's correct.
3 countries have sent military forces to Greenland to protect Greenland from the United States. Germany, Norway, and the UK have all sent soldiers. So to go and protect Greenland from the big bad bully, the United States, Germany sent 13 soldiers, the Norway sent 2, and England sent 1 guy over there to protect Greenland from the United States.
Did they fly them over? Did they? How did they get there?
Swim.
I mean, they didn't swim, but I mean, like, did they think they'd like fly them in a whole formation? Like, we're here for you, Greenland.
So can you imagine being the one guy though? Like if you're the one soldier in the UK and you're the only one that's asked to go to Greenland.
He's the one that they're like, what are we going to do with Bill?
Just send him to
We're
Greenland.
just sending Bill to Greenland.
He drives me nuts. Maybe it's like their best soldier they got. I wonder if that's going to affect anything we do. Like, Mr. President, can I speak to you for a moment? Germany sent 13 soldiers. Norway sent 2. And the UK sent 1 soldier. And Trump's just like, we need to have a meeting.
How Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors.
You're talking like a robot.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. You've heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team of investment advisors.
Allison! Sorry! Okay, sorry.
Hey, y'all. You've heard us talk about investment. JP, turn around. Okay. Go out of the room.
Anything else to do but look at JP.
All right, don't look at JP.
Oh.
Look at the camera.
Okay.
This is our big break. This commercial is our big break.
It's not even funny. Okay.
Hey, y'all. You've heard us talk about our friends.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey, you've heard us talk about
Gang,
Inspire Advisors. We'll get it, JP. Just don't give up on us.
You should do it like Marge.
Okay. Hey, my friends. You've heard us talk about Inspire Advisors. Now, Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio. Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are thrilled to be joined by Joan Reynolds, who is the acting chairwoman for the Alabama Republican Party, ALGOP. If you've heard us say that before, ALGOP. And she is here today just for an update and to tell us what is going on. First, we will start with a question and then a couple of other things about her time and the things that she's done across her vast career. But welcome today. How are you?
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
I'm sorry we don't have cupcakes today.
Yeah, we wish
That's
we had
okay.
cupcakes.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Birthday's come and gone.
But
Now
birthdays
you're
are
just a
fun
regular.
days. You know, it's okay. So let's start with this because it's a great question. We know that we have a Republican Party, but what does ALGOP even do?
Well, we want to keep it a Republican Party for the state of Alabama because right now we have 73% of the offices in the state of Alabama that are filled with Republicans. So my goal is to continue going beyond 73% and get as much as maybe 90%. Now that takes a little while to do that because the more people you get in office when you get party switchers or people that are elected to an office, then every year, for instance, in 2022, we had 50 people that switched parties. That's great. But then in 24, we only had 40. So the more you get, the fewer you're going to get in the next election. So my goal is to work with the county parties and with local elections, because that's what I've always done. I like working at the grassroots level, and that's what I'll do if I'm elected in the March 7th meeting. But we have really put Alabama on the map. We raised $2.7 million in 2022, and then 2.5, I think, in 2024. So we have the money, we have the resources to make Alabama a real player, especially in the South.
What is for those that don't know, what is a party switcher?
That's someone that has been a Democrat or been a Libertarian or been any other. I don't know what the others are, but if they've been in another party, then they have to come before the committee, and they have to say, I've decided that I like the ideals of the Republican Party. I would like to switch. And then they switch, and they'll sign a form that says that they believe in the bylaws and the principles of the Republican Party, and they sign on to being a Republican. So that's what a party switcher is.
And there are requirements for that. Is there a statute of limitation? I don't know how you say that. Like a
length of time?
Length of time before you can.
Now, you can party switch anytime. If you do not party switch, you cannot run for, if you have voted for a Democrat in the last 6 years, or if you have
run as a Democrat or independent
or
something.
helped a Democrat or endorsed a Democrat or anything like that in the past 6 years, you can't. That's one of our rules. You cannot run as a Republican. So that's one of the challenges that we've had, because that hasn't been one of our standing rules for forever. It's just been for a few, for I guess maybe a couple of years. But so many people don't realize that. And we had to do that because we had too many people that were actually Democrats and they were running as Republicans. But when we checked, they had always voted Democrat. So that's the reason we want them to come out in public and make it a public thing that they have switched.
That's a good thing.
Before we move on, I want to ask quickly, how does ALGOP spend their money? Like, where does that money go? Do you put it into statewide rate, or how do you choose where the money goes?
Well, we look at the races that are winnable first, and we make sure that we have good candidates in those races. Some counties have, say, a sheriff. Okay, if that sheriff wants to run as a Republican, and because believe it or not, if you're in a small rural county, the sheriff's one of the most important races. People come out to vote for a sheriff. Yes, that's very important because that's their security. You call the sheriff more than you do the city. So we will spend money trying to be sure that we have a good conservative candidate. And so mainly that's what if we're not electing Republicans, there's no need for us. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get out in the communities, find out what they need, where somebody is not as Republican as they should be, and trying to get party switchers from the Democrats to the Republican. And so it's all pretty much, it's grassroots type work is what it is. Now, of course, we had a real presence at the convention. I will say that. And everybody knows what we did at the convention. So, but basically the whole point of having a state party is to elect our Republicans.
That's good.
Statewide.
So I think there's probably people right now going, oh, that makes sense. You've announced that you're going to run for party chair. And I know that's no easy task, because how many people are on the state executive committee?
Right at 500.
500. Okay. So what kind of things, you've been involved in the party for a long time. What are some of those things that you've done along the way as part of the party?
Well, I was chairman in Butler County for, I think it was maybe 10 years. I can't remember exactly how many. And that was very much Democrat Party, county then. Believe it or not, it's turned around.
Really?
It has. And we have Republicans that have run there and we never had hardly anybody in the entire county that was a Republican. And so then when I moved to Birmingham, got involved in the Shelby County Party. And Freddie Ard, who was the chairman before me, he was ready to retire. So he said, since I had been a party chair, it wasn't like it was just this was just a Republican county, and I had been in a Democrat county, but I still knew the process of how you handled a party. And so he asked me, if I would consider running, and I said, well, yeah, I don't mind running. So I got involved. That's been 12 years ago now. And so, but it's one of those things. I like to work at the grassroots level, really. And, but I have so much I feel like I can help with these other counties all over the state that don't really know where to start and how to raise money and how to get candidates and how to qualify them. And there's just so much to being even a county party chair.
When, as you're thinking about running, and I know you have to campaign, that's all part of it. What are the top things that you today want to get done if you are elected?
Well, I'm going to start immediately into the counties. I'm going to go from county to county. I've got 2 counties I'm supposed to be in, I think Thursday of this week. And I'm going to get to know everybody in all the counties, all the party chairs. What are your issues? What can we do for you? We are there to assist them. If you call state headquarters and you have a problem, we're supposed to help you solve that problem. We don't just push you off and say, I'm sorry. No, we don't do that. And in places that we don't even have a party, we are beginning right now to set up some parties. Now that they're not big, they're small, but they've got to start somewhere. And then we'll have some party switchers. They'll start joining the Republican Party. So I'm going to work. I actually just finished, and we're going to try to get it sent out, a chairman's handbook. That's what all the things that I have done over all these years, trying to work at the county level. I have written a handbook to deliver to all the county chairs, so they'll know if they have an issue, it's going to be highlighted in that book. And it's just the way I say things and the process that I take. So it'll be easy. It's really easy reading.
Great. Yeah, it's really good.
So of the things that you've done from Butler County, Shelby County, and now, what are the things that you're most proud of that you would like to continue?
Well, I like to continue my strike force group, which is something that I started about 17 years ago. So I really like doing that. And I think we can do that in the state of Alabama too. I go to battleground states and campaign for either congressional or presidential campaigns, but we can do the same thing for candidates in Alabama. And I think there is a way that we can get it done. My group loves traveling. So they call me, where are we going? When are we going to go? So they're ready to go. But we can start something like that on a smaller scale. And I've just got to find the right person. It takes a person that really enjoys that, because mainly it's knocking on doors. But, we have coalitions that we can use, the young Republicans, the college Republicans. They can all help. There's something for everybody. I just tell somebody, even if you stay at home and write a card, there's something for you to do.
Yeah. I think we've got time for one more question. I'm curious, how much does the chairman or the chairwoman work with the legislature, and how would you handle that? What's your goal there with the legislature?
Well, what we do, we normally are there during session, not every day, but almost every day. And I have been asked to come and speak to the caucus. So we like to partner as much as we can for bills that we feel strongly about. And because we can get that message out to a lot of people that they might not get to. Plus, we can bypass some of the media and get it directly to them. So we have a weekly update on our website, and actually it goes out every week and says, here's the bills that have gone through. Now, we're not endorsing all of those bills. We just want everybody to be updated on what is going on from week to week. But if there's bills like just came through on the Public Service Commission, you know, we agreed with that. All but 10 counties, all but 10 states in the country do it that way. And we're always trying to keep the liberals out of our business, and especially the money coming from foreign sources. So, but we don't endorse all of them, but few we will.
When, okay, I'm gonna squeeze in one more. When ALGOP passes a resolution, do you hand that to the legislature?
Yes.
Like, okay, so they know the position of the party.
Yes.
And they take that into consideration. So those resolutions matter.
Yeah.
Because you are the voice.
We hope.
Well, in theory, they should,
Yeah.
because you are the representative body for all the people across the state. So, well, any final words?
Well, if anybody's listening and they're on the state committee, I would certainly appreciate your vote. I certainly feel like I've been around long enough and I know enough about the process and what needs to be done that I can just move strictly and straight into it without, I don't have a learning curve.
There's no learning curve.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you've done a little bit of everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah. No, it's
Raise
good.
money.
Yeah,
well,
you
it's
have.
good to know all sides. I mean,
Yeah.
for sure, because I think sometimes you forget, you know, that you're here to help the counties. And I was looking at the state executive committee and qualifying, and like Marengo County and some of those counties over there, there's no one in
The
that
7th
spot.
district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually I probably need to talk to you about that offline, because I have some people that might be interested.
Oh,
But
great.
you know, that's where we can really make up some ground, I feel like, with minorities and kind of getting into those communities. So I
Yep.
think that's really important.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Keep us updated.
I
Yes,
will,
please.
I will.
And good luck.
I'll just run up any day now.
You're so great. When is the election, or when?
7th.
The 7th.
March
7th.
7th. Yeah.
Okay, it's around the corner.
All
And
right.
it will be right here in Birmingham
Oh, and the winter dinner will be
on the 6th.
On the 6th, which
And it's at the Winfrey also.
we just don't know the speaker yet.
Yeah, we're close.
But it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
good.
always
gonna be
is.
awesome.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.
Screening out companies that don't match your Christian values.
Paul and his team are experts at what we call biblically responsible investing. And they are offering a free class for a limited time just for you. You're up.
Check out the class and register for free at www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly. It's conservative. It's financial freedom.
Again, you go to Inspire Advisors at www.moneywealthpattern.com and check them out and tell them Rightside sent ya. What is that?
We'll do it afterwards.
There are those in the immigrants' rights community who have argued passionately that we should simply provide those who are illegally with legal status, or at least ignore the laws on the books and put an end to deportation until we have better laws. And often this argument is framed in moral terms. Why should we punish people who are just trying to earn a living? I recognize the sense of compassion that drives this argument. But I believe such an indiscriminate approach would be both unwise and unfair. It would suggest to those thinking about coming here illegally that there will be no repercussions for such a decision. And this could lead to a surge in more illegal immigration. And it would also ignore the millions of people around the world who are waiting in line to come here legally. Ultimately, our nation, like all nations, has the right and obligation to control its borders and set laws for residency and citizenship. And no matter how decent they are, no matter their reasons, the 11 million who broke these laws should be held accountable.
What is the bigger threat to America right now, American values, American life? Islamophobia or jihad?
I think we have to focus, quite frankly, on, if we're worried about the threat to American values, on the person who's in the White House.
What an idiot!
Sometimes people come up to me and whisper, does it matter if we don't believe in the virgin birth?
No, it doesn't matter in the UCC for sure. There are some Christians to whom it really matters. But in the UCC, we feel like the most important thing about Jesus is paying attention to how he lived his life. And the details around his birth are things that we can find meaning in, but the meaning might be symbolic.
What? Hannah Moore believes she and other SNAP recipients should be able to go into the grocery store and buy whatever they like. Soda, candy, prepackaged sweets, prepared desserts, and juice with less than half of natural fruit or vegetable juice in it.
It's not even cool. Like, why they do that? What's the point of food stamps if it's just for real food?
That doesn't make sense.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. All the fields we go, laughing all the way.
You people, this is golf! A rock concert!
Why are you going home?
I got sent home for suggesting we do a nativity this year. Apparently I'm Islamophobic.
And what's for lunch?
All they sell is curry now, thanks to Labour and the illegals.
We all know the story, right? 1955, Montgomery, Alabama. Rosa Parks, she's this tired seamstress. She refuses to give up her seat to this white guy. Rosa Parks was a calculating revolutionary whose actions were part of this broader left-wing conspiracy, but the myth that we're all taught is designed to hide this and the radicalism that created it so that we're taught, some feel-good narrative when we're in kindergarten.
You look at MLK and Stanley Levison, who was the CFO of the Communist Party of America, who used Martin Luther King. I mean, he wrote part of the I Have a Dream speech, and he kind of saw MLK as a tool or puppet. Why is there a communist tie-in into all of it? It's just strange to me. It's almost like just like today, like there needed to be a fighting and a racial war almost for them to try to implement what they wanted to implement. So it's strange.
It is my Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP, finishing up our 3:00 hour, and enjoyed that conversation with Joan Reynolds, acting chair of the state party.
Don't you just want to be her?
She's such a great lady and has so much experience. She motivates me when she comes in. Very motivated by her.
I just want to talk like her.
I know that
So
that
southern.
Mississippi drawl is so good.
Beauty queen.
I mean, she's something. So, JP, I assume because we didn't get to all of them and we don't have very long before we get into the rest of all the news in the 4:00 hour. Do you have more text for us? Because I know everybody was kind of sounding off about Bad Bunny and other things going on in the world.
We just got two from Stephen from Athens. He's the one that talked about neurolinguistic programming.
Yes.
And he just added two verses. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good morals. And Proverbs 13:20. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm.
That's good.
So
Is that in response to my neighbors?
no, that is and following up with his comments about Satan being the author of confusion and thinks that Bad Bunny and the neurolinguistic programming was part of all that and chaos and confusion.
Yeah.
At least I think.
I
Unless
was
Steven wants to text in and say he's talking about
Very
your neighbors.
confused after that.
No, yeah, makes sense. Okay, then.
What's the other text?
Those were the two from
Two in
Steven
a
from
row.
Athens.
Well,
that was
y'all
two
have just
separate
been
ones.
lively and active today. Let me tell you, in the 4:00 hour, we're going to do the 3. We are going to follow up with some of what's going on with Epstein. I did find a little bit of info from Ro Khanna from an interview he did. Thankfully, they wrote it out so we can discuss it. And then what's going on? Any news on Nancy? I hope there's good news on Nancy Guthrie.
Nancy
I can't
Pelosi.
imagine. And then there's some movement. There's some stuff going on in an Alabama race. I saw the article at Yellowhammer between Lloyd Peoples and Jim Carnes. Would love to talk about that. And then also on Yellowhammer, they had announced that Joan was running for chair. So
Lots
there's
going
that.
on.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. And it's only Monday. Oh, my word.
Real quickly. So I don't know. I know there was a 5:00 deadline for Nancy Guthrie's Savannah Guthrie's mom's Bitcoin ransom to be deposited. I don't know if that's 5:00 Eastern time or 5:00 because it's almost 4:00 here.
5:00 Arizona time, I assume, which is
so
7:00 here.
So, but as of now, there has not been a deposit into.
Well, Savannah Guthrie actually put up a video about an hour ago and said that they're, quote, in an hour of desperation right now. And that she said, we believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. She said that we don't know where she is. Yeah. So
Yesterday, they were looking in a septic tank.
were they? I didn't know
Yes,
that.
they were looking in the septic tank in the backyard of Nancy's house.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The message or the last video they did, like the siblings said that they had received the message from the ransom message and that they will pay and that they want to celebrate with her, which
That's kind of an odd phrase.
people speculated that was a cryptic way of saying that they know she's no longer with us and they just want to celebrate, her life with her body. So
Oh.
I'm not sure, but that's the latest on that.
Did you hear? Have y'all seen the side-by-side comparison of what she said versus what was said in Silence of the Lambs?
No.
Where she says, just talk to her and you'll find out. It's like an almost identical sentence as to what was said in Silence of the Lambs. I'll find it.
Great movie, by the way.
Weird. Oh, if you like nightmares.
I had to watch it for my
You
criminal
played
justice class.
Call of Duty. See, you are desensitized to death. The father.
Oh, Allison. that was actually
That was it.
spot on.
Put the lotion in the basket. We'll be back.
Y'all have heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles.
Paul and his team are experts on what they call biblically responsible investing. And for a limited time, they're hosting a free class that you can register for.
Check out the class and register for free at moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, and it's financial freedom.
Again, go to Inspire Advisors at moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out and tell them you heard about them at Rightside Radio.
That the communists were using the civil rights movement as one more attempt to control the population because it is their belief that communism can't succeed without first socialism succeeding. And so I think that their point was revolution.
What's different about Minneapolis versus the civil rights movement is that the civil rights movement needed to happen. I don't know if it needed to happen that way. Don't remember communism coming out of it or socialism. But is that the end result of what happened?
I think the end result, if you take communism by its definition of seizing the means of production, what they ended up seizing were our classrooms and our textbooks, and being able to tell a narrative that has spun in their favor.
That's good, Abs.
Thanks,
good.
it's coffee.
Still thinking.
You know, that is getting unwound, and it's time, because there's so much we know that's not true, not just about this, but about many other things. But I think that was what they were able to do. And so now they're reproducing other agitators in other areas of our society.
You're so smart.
We shall discuss Jeffrey Epstein, starting with Kash Patel saying there was no evidence of any children being abused. Essentially, this is what he says. We have been lied to. That is my big takeaway.
I do want to add the Deputy Attorney General Blanche. He not only said physical abuse, but he said death, physical abuse, and injury, which means what?
There was death, physical abuse, and injury.
But you put out something like this in regards to Jeffrey Epstein, and they're talking about this, my ears perk up, and I'm like, maybe Jen Caviezel wasn't absolutely crazy. It's all kind of starting to come together. And then all the stuff, does anybody have the Pizzagate stuff? Everybody thought those people were nuts too. And I think Pizzagate, if you read through these texts, emails, is real.
For too long, not all the pastors, but some of our pastors told us that Christians shouldn't be involved in politics. This is what happens when you abdicate the responsibility for being a civil magistrate, our God-given duty. This crap is what happens when we go, yep, y'all do it. We're just going to hang on until Jesus comes back. This is why it matters that we are involved in politics right here.
The mountain of circumstantial evidence in these files is amazing, to say the least. Bongino made his big return to his podcast today, and his whole, these people are talking about Epstein and the files. They don't even know. They didn't see what I saw. They don't even know what they're talking about. And there's these doomers and these black pillars. And then you see these emails released. It's like, hey, knucklehead, I can see pictures of Prince Andrew over a girl. I can see emails of Epstein talking to people about underage girls. I can see Epstein talking to all these people. All I'm saying is that shouldn't be the end of it. Okay. So if you're going to say, well, you don't know what I know. Well, I saw the files that I'm sure you saw. And if you're saying that's not worth another investigation and we just need to move on, then I don't even know what to say to that.
Have y'all ever heard the term cute aggression? I have never heard this term, but it's a legit thing. It's a normal emotional reaction where someone feels a sudden urge to squeeze, pinch, or say exaggerated things like, I could just eat you up, when they see something extremely cute, such as a baby, a puppy, or a kitten. Even though the word aggression is in the name, it doesn't mean you want to hurt them. But psychologists think cute aggression is your brain's way of balancing overwhelmingly positive emotions. When you feel something is too adorable, your emotional response spikes so high that the brain adds a tiny counter feeling, aggression-like energy, to regulate it.
That makes sense.
I had no clue, but think about that. Like your aunt is like, oh, you're just so cute. Or you see a baby and you're like, I just want to eat you up.
Yes.
I didn't know that was an actual thing.
Didn't
know that 3 Alabama congressmen voted this week to fund child mutilation, DEI initiatives, and abortions paid for by your tax money. Robert Adderholt, Mike Rogers, and Dale Strong of Alabama all voted against Amendment number 2, which would remove these initiatives from H.R. 7148. It was brought by Ralph Norman of South Carolina, who is actually one of my favorite congressmen. He said, hey, let's pass the bill, but can we just take these things out? And those 3 from Alabama voted to keep your tax dollars paying for those things. I don't know about y'all, but there's lines in the sand for me. If you're going to call yourself a conservative, if you're going to call yourself a Republican, those are lines you don't cross. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're compromised. I don't know if they like child mutilation, but it is unacceptable that these 3 voted for this. You need to call their offices and let them know how you feel. If you live in their district, need to reverse course here, because this isn't looking good.
What if everything we think we know is wrong? Hey y'all, it's Abs with Rightside. And during this, welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So we have a lot to cover in the 4 o'clock hour. First things first, before we get to Alabama news, there were things we needed to cover from our montage, starting with the Olympic whiners. What are y'all's thoughts on these pony boys who are complaining about the U.S. and it's kind of awkward right now, and I don't really love America?
I hate hicklibs.
You know what I'm going to say?
What are you going to say?
You know, Abs.
Go ahead, say it.
Afuera!
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I think I brought that.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
got it. Just go. Just go.
Thank you.
Go. Escort yourself out. I mean, do you know how many people have represented the United States in times that they disagreed with, but they didn't get up on stage and do whiny baby? I'm the victim and everybody in America is the victim on stolen land. I mean, think about all the wars we've been through. What'd they do? You know what? This is just part of being in a relationship. And we're going to get through it. And I still love my country because it's the freest country and the best country in the whole global galaxy.
Global galaxy.
That's what I say.
So it's ironic, I think. Two things. One thing's ironic. One thing's tone deaf. I guess they don't see the rest of the world like Germany, who couldn't have their Christmas markets. They couldn't, because it's just all about ice. All of it. Let me frame it. It's all about ice. Germany couldn't have their Christmas markets. France had markets that were in years past. People ran through, trucks through them. They're having issues with their immigration. Italy in spots has issues, but they're dealing with it. The UK has rape gangs. They're praying, Muslims are praying in the square everywhere. So the world is struggling with immigration. And yet our whiny butt babies are getting up there going, it's just kind of a hard time. That is tone deaf to complain about ICE when the other countries that are there don't complain. I mean, it's unbelievable. It is so tone deaf. But the second thing, as if it always is this way. We're the only ones who ever struggle with anything ever. They do the same thing with slavery. Stop. But they're doing this with ICE. It's ridiculous. The second thing is ironic. Here you have these people, and their whole life has been spent toward earning their spot on a team. Earning their spot on a team, Phyllis. They're trying real hard to get on that team. Their whole life has been cloaked with praise and honor and hard work and discipline. And we're going to do this. I'm going to get on the team. I'm getting on the team. I'm earning it. And yet they're demanding that we let people in who've earned nothing.
I see what you did. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But they're disenfranchised.
They're totally disenfranchised. You know? I mean, would they give their medal that they just earned? Would they just give it to somebody?
Give up their spot to the person that came in like fifth instead of...
You take it.
Yep. I'll give up
my parents sacrificed everything for me to be here, but you take it.
So I agree with everything y'all said. I'm going to add another...
yeah, but...
No. This is not a yeah, but. It's a yeah, and. I'm going to add another...
I saw what you did there.
Yeah.
That was good.
I'm adding another element to it of the journalists who are going to each of these Olympians and making a point to say there's a lot of chaos going on in the United States right now. I'm just curious, how does it feel to represent America with all that's going on back home? That like they're because you could have two responses. You could have a response like the skiers had, where it's like I don't really appreciate everything that's going on in America right now. I don't, if it aligns with my morals, then I represent it. Or you could have the reaction of the girl, I don't know what sport she was, where
she
she
goes
was
track and field from
that
Tokyo.
Was Like, yeah, 2020 maybe.
Well, yeah. Well, it's asked the same question about America and how you feel representing America. It's just like, I love representing America. I love living in America. Go USA. So like, there's different responses you could have to it. But the journalists, the fact that you're going to an event and the journalists are like trying to put all these athletes in a situation, because if you're like a Hunter Hess, I think his name was, and you're a Hicklib, and
That's a cool name though.
Yeah, it is a skier's name.
That.
Yeah, I like that name.
And you think that
Hicklib.
you think all this stuff, yeah, Hicklib, it's like the liberals, the guy liberals. It technically means like country liberals that don't know
Oh, I
any
dig
better.
it. I'm 100%
But
here for it.
anyways, they're trying to get those clips and those moments to embarrass America on the global stage.
Amen.
So everything you said, I agree with that. They're biscuits for saying what they said, but also the journalists that are trying to take away the moment of you, and you're an Olympian and you've made it to the stage, but I'm going to try to get you to get a soundbite from me so that America is embarrassed on the global stage and their athletes don't even like America. It's all of it is, both angles of it are annoying.
And here's the other part. My little sister plays really good tennis player. And she was around people in the school that she attended. These kids, and they are kids who get to the Olympics, are so coddled, so in their own prep schools, so with their own people. They do not even emerge to go in public unless they're going to a restaurant. It is a whole different world. That was our observation. I've never seen anything like it. Whole different world. They party together. They do whatever they got to do together. But just for the brief moment that I observed it. So when they speak, they're speaking from their bubble. And they're just spewing back what they've heard in whatever classes they actually took. Because mainly they are homeschooled, but homeschooled through prep school programs. So I don't even want to hear what they have to say, because they don't live in reality. And they're just going along with a journalist whose main job is to go pour cold water on what it means to be a citizen.
But I don't give them any pass. I mean, these kids
passes.
are well versed in how to handle the media, and they know what's coming. If you're at that level, you've been through this before, and you just are making a choice to give in. So I don't even like spending time talking about it. I mean, go USA. Y'all, I didn't even know the Olympics were on.
Me neither.
Until the opening ceremony. Did y'all see the pentagram?
Yes,
the
Chris was telling me.
flaming ball of Satan that they put up during the opening ceremonies. And I was like, oh, well, last time it was the Lord's Supper with the blue man. Remember that?
Yep.
So number one, okay, there's the pentagram. We're all desensitized to that. Yes, you're a bunch of Satanists and running a global cabal.
Yep.
But then I was like, didn't even know the Olympics were on.
Yep.
It's kind of sad.
Who cares about the Winter Olympics, though?
I don't know, but it should be a big deal.
Do you remember when we were little?
Yeah.
What a
figure
big
skating.
deal it was.
Oh, and yeah, what was her name? Oh, Nancy Kerrigan.
Oh,
all
and the
that.
whole kneecap
Yeah.
situation. You do remember that, JP.
Oh, and what was her
no.
name? What was the Tina Tucker?
I can't remember, but she was
Tanya
a
Tucker?
hick. Total hick.
What was her
little short squat?
Yeah, what was her name? Somebody
from
text in,
elegance
come on.
to little
And
squat.
Nancy Kerrigan and
That
she went
girl.
to prison.
Yeah, she did. She did go to
She
prison.
was another figure skater, and before the before the competition, she went in with like a pipe and beat the heck out of her knees.
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding.
Tanya. Sounds like something a Tanya would do. I'm sorry if you have the name Tanya. It's a great name.
She's probably from South Florida.
She's from up north.
Anyway, she is.
That was horrifying when that happened. But that was when it was a
everybody
really
watched.
big deal.
Yeah.
Now we're like, oh, we're having to be told on X, go back and watch this. It was actually worth your time. Okay, well, thank you. If y'all could just give us a heads up before the whole satanic stuff, that'd be great.
Well, if there's any good news, let me see if X took this down. Eric Daughtry is reporting that Hollywood liberals are stunned after Kid Rock overtakes Bad Bunny for the #1 song post halftime show, Till You Can't.
Huh.
And Gabby Barrett is closely trailing behind Bad Bunny. Till You Can't is the one where he basically preached the gospel. It didn't say God, it said Jesus.
Wow.
Big deal.
That's awesome.
But can we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Let's go to other news when we come back.
Yeah. There's lots of stuff going on. Lots of Alabama news, lots of national news. What do y'all want to do on the other side?
Let's talk Epstein, if you don't mind.
Because tomorrow, today's a big day.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and then we can do the 3 at
Check
4:30.
X.
Okay. Bet.
Thanks, JP.
We'll be back.
History Month. Perhaps you've heard me talk about my quest on the show, but I'm on a quest to find out what's true. Because if we've interacted with what isn't true, then we have to stop and ask why. What we think matters because it affects the way we behave. And if we've been told things that aren't true by people who have nefarious intentions so that they can capture us and get us to do what they want, rather than us living freely, not as victims, not in need of perpetual handouts, wouldn't that change everything? Wouldn't that set us free? Here's my first recommendation. Chad O. Jackson has, he's got several documentaries. One is Uncle Tom 1 and 2. Start there. Or check out Chad O. Jackson in History Revelata. I've started the MLK series only on episode 1 and my mind is blown. Consider Vince Everett Ellison, who's written among other books, The Iron Triangle. It will blow your mind. Or Daryl Harrison and Virgil Walker with Just Thinking. They have several episodes on Black history, BLM, etc. I want to know the truth because the truth matters. I'll see you soon.
Am I the only one that's sick and tired of a bunch of yeah buts from our Republicans in Congress? Yeah, we voted to keep gender mutilation and abortions and DI initiatives all paid for by your taxpayer dollars in the resolution to continue funding the government. But it included, some other stuff that it's really complicated and nuanced and you wouldn't understand. Or how about, we voted to keep funding $5 billion to refugee welfare in this resolution to keep funding the government as well. But it's actually not adding any new immigration and it's upholding current law and President Trump wanted us to pass it. It's all pathetic and insane. If you're a Republican in Congress and you are voting for this crap and you lash out on your constituents that are calling it out, then the problem is not us, the problem is you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up Amendment number 2 to H.R. 7148, which was an amendment to withdraw gender mutilation, abortions, and DEI initiatives from this resolution to continue funding the government. And members of our own Alabama delegation, including Dale Strong, Robert Adderholt, and Mike Rogers, all voted against it and had a bunch of yeah buts in response to that, of course. And then also go look up the $5 billion in refugee welfare that passed the House to be included in the resolution to continue funding the government, which every single member of Alabama's House voted for this. That's right. All members of our Alabama delegation in the House voted to continue funding it. Props to Tuberville and Katie Britt in the Senate, though, that voted against it. But when you call out this stuff to representatives, in our Alabama delegation, and their response is to lash out and become petty because they're simply calling this stuff out, I'm sorry. The problem is you. And I don't know, maybe you're not cut out for politics because the yeah buts, we're sick and tired of them. And all you're saying with your yeah buts is that this thing means more important than stopping funding to refugee welfare to the tune of $5 billion of your taxpayer dollars. Just saying. The Democrats, when they're in power, don't have a bunch of yeah buts. They just get stuff done for their side and destroy America. Meanwhile, when Republicans try to save America, it's just a bunch of yeah buts to continue funding the crap that Democrats want to fund. And you know what? We're sick and tired of it.
In case you missed it, Alabama, all 5 of your Republican congressmen voted last week to continue funding refugee welfare. Yes, to the tune of $5 billion. Barry Moore, Gary Palmer, Dale Strong, Robert Adderholt, and Mike Rogers, Republicans, all voted to give $5 billion in your tax dollars to refugees in America. I don't get it. With all that's going on in Minnesota, how in the world can a conservative continue to give into programs that are obviously fraudulent and being used against America? To me, this borderlines on treason, and I'm not trying to be dramatic, but we are not representing American people anymore. When we're $39 trillion in debt, and we're giving billions still to people that aren't even American citizens. And here's the worst part. Probably your congressman, if you call and ask why they voted for House Resolution 7006, they're going to say, well, there were some really good things in there for America. We had to vote for it to continue this program. Well, that's like me coming up to you and right before I punch you in the face saying, you're really pretty and really nice. It doesn't work.
So do you think when somebody invokes the Fifth Amendment that it suggests immediate guilt? Because it doesn't seem fair that Jeffrey Epstein is somewhere. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know if he's somewhere else.
Oh, Milo Yiannopoulos put out where he is.
Is he? I saw that picture.
He's somewhere in Tel Aviv.
Okay. That would make
In
sense.
case you wanted to know.
So do you think when somebody invokes the Fifth that they're immediately guilty?
Like Ghislaine Maxwell just did in her hearings? Yeah. I mean, yes, that's the natural inclination. Like if you don't have anything to hide, you don't have anything to hide.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Well, like in theory, no, but in big cases like this, yeah, I mean, it perceives guilt. But like in theory, someone pleading the Fifth does not mean that you're guilty. But in the situation, like if you're a Ghislaine Maxwell and you plead the Fifth, then yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good. So
But she has no incentive to talk.
None.
I
mean,
and
she's probably running the prison she's in.
And didn't she just get a puppy or something?
Yes.
In prison?
Yes.
Yeah. And so her only incentive is that maybe somebody would take her out sooner. But I do kind of want to be like, girl, you're dead somehow anyway. So just go ahead and spill it. But then how do you even know if what she said was true? I've thought about that because she has no incentive to tell the truth. She could make up, she could say anybody's name. Mm-hmm. What does she have to lose? Nothing. So maybe it's better. But did Congress get to go view the files, unredacted files today?
They were today. I don't know. It's towards the end of the day, so I assume they've already done it. But yeah, so Congress has been allowed by the DOJ to view all of the unredacted Epstein files, which it's crazy because that means two things. That first of all, well, I understand they're members of Congress, right? So it's not like the average citizen. But if your claim was that all that you redacted was for national security reasons only, I don't know. So I guess if you're a congressperson and you see the files, then you're not allowed to spill the beans on what the unredacted files were. But what's the point if you're the DOJ? Like, why are you showing Congress the unredacted? I mean, I appreciate that you're doing that, but like, why?
And can't somebody come out and tell us what you saw? I mean, really, isn't that what we're waiting on? Otherwise, who cares? But how much more obvious could it be that they hate us, that Ghislaine Maxwell is sitting in a prison with a puppy, probably with a well-decorated cell from which she probably runs the entire prison. She's never going to talk. And are we ever going to know what these Congress people saw? Because more and more has come out over the weekend, like the jerky conversation that's even worse than the pizza conversation. And these things, listen, for some of us, just because we're not ready to hear what it said doesn't mean it's not true. For some people, this is horrifying. For most of us, it's horrifying. Unless, of course, you're in the inner circle and you're like Bill Clinton and Hillary and, we'll talk. But they lie too. They're going to get away with it too. The people who should be speaking the loudest that we should be listening to are the women who made that commercial during the Super Bowl yesterday. Those are the people that are getting lost in this whole thing. And the little children that apparently are a part of this as well. Babies being born at the Zorro Ranch.
Yeah.
I mean, this is depravity with lights around it.
Well, I don't know if they saw the files or not, but Representative Stansberry, she must be a Democrat because I don't know her. This was her statement. Of course, she's right by Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
The United States government is engaged in an active cover-up of the largest sex trafficking and influence peddling scandal in our history, and Donald Trump is right at the center of it.
That's what she said?
That's what she said.
So they've known about this since Obama. They put him in prison during Bush, and he kind of just did his own thing because he invented something to run so he could get out of prison. Then Trump's been after it, trying to get it out. Biden didn't do anything about it. And now it's Trump's fault for doing something about it.
Here's the thing. If she's seen the unredacted emails, I mean, we all know, and I'm not making excuses for him, but we all know his name is in the files, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, just because your name is in the files, Elon Musk's name is in the files, and there's nobody that's pushing harder. In fact, he said he would pay all the legal fees of any of these victims that wanted to come forward and give names. He would fund that. But she can come out and say stuff like that because maybe his name is in there a lot. But you can incite that kind of anger and TDS by saying something like that. Technically, it's maybe true, but that doesn't mean he did anything wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's very frustrating with these Dems because you're like, if he had done something wrong, you've had these for years under Biden. Why wouldn't you put him out then?
A survivor said that very thing.
Yeah.
This weekend.
So now you're just playing games with us.
Yeah.
She said he didn't, I can't say what she said, but she said he didn't do anything. You don't think we would know? I was there.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. So I know they're trying to call Republicans bluff, and we know Republicans are in there as well as Democrats. The women in the story are the ones who are getting lost, and whatever happened or didn't happen with children, that's getting lost. While Ghislaine sits there in her comfy, cushy cell, and the rest of us go, well, what was that all for?
I will say I wish we could have had Tim Burchett walk in with like meta glasses looking at the Epstein files, only for if the video of him getting caught, like you're like, sir, dadgummit. I'm sorry.
I'm for it.
We get a video of him walking out like, hey guys, I just got kicked out of the Epstein files review for wearing these dadgum meta glasses. Don't worry.
That was a good.
I'm guessing they like strip you down before you go in the skiff.
Yeah.
You probably don't get to wear glasses.
He gets to the door, sir. Okay, all right. Sorry.
Gonna take my Carhartt jacket.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a break and then we've got some news. We're gonna do the 3 at 4:30 because that makes sense. We'll be back.
JP here with Rightside. I need to remind you that Inspired Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. We know this audience, and you're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles and being good stewards of your resources. What if the companies you're invested in don't reflect your values at all? That's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspired Advisors. Inspired Advisors, they are experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. They can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspired Advisors, you got to go check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Point, we have to stop giving money to the people that hate us, to the things that are going to destroy this country. And why these 5, the 3 of them I get, but Barry Moore and Gary Palmer, I'm so confused. I have no clue why they wouldn't stand up, because 24 Republicans voted against this bill. why didn't they? It's not like they'd be the only ones. And even if you are the only one, do the right thing.
And it is a big deal because one of the most popular podcasters in the world, Sean Ryan, was told to stop talking about this story.
Last week, I received a demand letter from lawyers representing Kanakuk Ministries, a Christian summer camp in Missouri. They're threatening to sue me for defamation because of something I said on my podcast with Congressman Ro Khanna,
which smacks of arrogance and more abuse. Because there are plenty of people who've come forward to talk about it. I was looking, so these camps, there's a lot of people that have been at these camps, Allison Sinclair, like a lot. 500,000 over the years.
Are you talking about
in general, like over
outside
all
of
these
Kanakuk,
years?
Or you mean Kanakuk camps?
Kanakuk camps,
Okay.
since 1926, has hosted more than 500,000 campers and 50,000 staffers in Missouri and its many international locations. These stories that we heard about happened in Missouri.
It's in Branson, right?
And yes, in Branson, Missouri. And it's a sports camp. Like it's a fun evangelical sports themed camp. Is that fair to say?
I don't know that.
Well, ish.
It's just where all the cool kids go.
Yeah. Well, Peter Newman, who was one of the camp's directors, years ago pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 6 boys. But since then, the camp has touted itself as a leader in child safety, holding seminars, etc. Except interviews with dozens of victims and former camp employees reported that they didn't seek justice for the victims. They prioritized ministering to those accused of wrongdoing.
Hey, Lindsay, why don't you just admit that you're gay and then people won't blackmail you anymore?
Start shooting. Just start shooting. Honestly, at this point, you don't have anything to lose because they're already going to shoot you for doing nothing. Start shooting back. I don't know.
Stop it. Get some help.
Abortion is an act of love. Abortion is an act of love.
Abortion is an act of love.
When I first heard the slogan that abortion is an act of love, I retracted just a little. And then I started thinking about my sister's story, and I started thinking about individual case stories and saving lives and saving futures, that abortion can be the most loving act that we can have.
I beg your pardon?
Is it the position of the ACLU that people should have to be U.S. citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
It is the ACLU's position that voting should be fair and accessible and to everyone who is eligible.
That would be a U.S. citizen, yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Donald J. Trump calling Thomas Massie a moron at the national.
Welcome back to Rightside. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP, and we're doing the 3 at 4:30 because why not? So
wait, hold on. We're doing what?
The 3. I love that.
I love it.
At 4:30. Basically, the 3 of us each have one story that we've held on to for the day, and we're going to discuss it. So, are you ready, Sinclair?
No, I need to go
Okay.
last
All
because
right.
I can't decide.
I'll go. JP, you'll shake it up with whatever you have. And I'm going now. I'm going to grab my story. It's from Yellowhammer that went away. Don't you love it when you grab a story and it just disappears?
Well, if it went away, I got mine ready.
Fine.
If you're professional, you have it ready.
So
I'm not.
This is the thing. You are professional. It just happens that it's not ready. This is kind of a big deal. Signal poll, Jim Carnes, longtime Alabama House incumbent, faces early warning signs from first-time candidate Lloyd Peoples. Grayson Everett wrote the story. State Rep Jim Carnes has been a fixture in Alabama politics since the early 90s, but a new Signal poll from the heavily GOP Birmingham suburb seat of Alabama House District 48 shows voters aren't rushing to sign up for another term with him in 2026. In the new poll obtained by Yellowhammer News, conducted January 29 through 31 among 300 likely Alabama Republican Party voters, Carnes leads challenger and former federal prosecutor Lloyd Peoples 23 to 16%, but with 59% still undecided. According to the poll, just 21% would vote to reelect Carnes, and that he generally has weak numbers on the reelect ballot, showing a lane that voters are ready for someone new. If you want to read the rest of the story, you can check out Yellowhammer, but I thought that was a very, very interesting story. A little surprising.
I love Jim Carnes.
I do too.
He's one of the best legislators we have in Montgomery. And yes, he's old. I mean, he just turned 85. 85?
85?
I think he's 85. I could be making that up. But
I
don't think I am.
I'm looking it up.
But he is a solid conservative. 85?
He turns 85 this year.
Yeah, he's a solid conservative. I guess the voters, that's not my district, but they're going to have to decide. I mean, we had Lloyd Peoples. You called him Floyd. We had him on the show. He's done a lot he was a U.S. Northern District prosecutor and assistant U.S. attorney. And he's younger. I think he's 52, has kids, kind of knows what's going on in our schools. And I think that's valuable. Not that older people can't, but you have to make a concerted effort to really keep up with the more family kind of DEI, SEL stuff, what's going on in our schools. I don't know how this, I mean, I'm a little shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I think, what you have to balance is, okay, yes, you've got young and new and fresh, and that can be really good. You don't know their voting record. I mean, we've seen it time and time again that campaign mailers go out and palm cards go out and they say one thing and they do another.
Mm-hmm.
That can always happen with somebody that you don't know. But Lloyd seems principled and he seems like he is focused and grounded in what he wants to do. I don't know, but I'm a little shocked. And I think I'm more shocked at Jim Carnes' kind of lack of name ID, because he's been either in the legislature for that district or county commission for years. Mm-hmm. I'm always a fan when people run against incumbents because it pulls them out of the shadows. Mm-hmm. But what do you think?
I think the people of Alabama will have to decide. And I don't know, just because somebody reaches a certain age doesn't mean that they need to be sent back to the House. If they're doing an excellent job and their voting record suggests that they are, then we are for that. But I, like you, was shocked that the name ID wasn't higher. Now, in near where he lives, everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
But outside of that, not so much. Now, does that also speak to his unassuming nature and his not attention-seeking nature? Yes, and that is refreshing. That is very different than some people. And the other part, though, you're right, is palm cards go out. But like we learned from our friend Scott Beeson, often the conversation is, you don't really mean that, did you? Mm. And so perhaps this is a race where both men mean exactly what's going to go on their palm card. One we've seen and one we haven't seen. So I think competition's always good. Yeah. That's what makes America great, is competition. And, but we'll see. I don't know how this is going to go.
I think it's a big wake-up call, though, to Montgomery, because people are frustrated with Montgomery. People are seeing what Montgomery is putting out. Montgomery is kind of like the U.S. Congress. It's not a deliberative body anymore. It is I was having this conversation with someone today. It is a top-down leadership. Will tell you what you're voting for. And if you don't, your name's going on a whiteboard. And we're going to keep track. And we're going to kick you out of the club. And that's not the way any of this was supposed to run. And so people are tired of it. They're tired of the typical Montgomery. And I think that's what you're seeing in these races. They're like, we're not loving what's coming out as it is. So why not take a chance on someone new?
Yep.
I don't know. Montgomery's better pull it together.
Please.
Please, sure. May I have another.
All right, Sinclair.
Well, okay. This is a Yellowhammer article that came out. Let me see who wrote this. I don't know who wrote this. Oh, Grayson Everett wrote this one too. Environmental dark money that flipped Georgia's Public Service Commission, now targeting Alabama. So this came out maybe a week ago. And it's let me try and see. It's basically like George Soros money, dark money coming into that turned Georgia and flipped their seats. And now apparently they're doing it in Alabama. Well, right on the heels of this article coming out and people talking about this, the legislature has introduced a bill. It was the day after Matt Gentry, who's running for Public Service Commission in place 1, came on our show. They dropped a bill that, or maybe it was already filed, I just didn't hear about it, that the Public Service Commission that is now an elected position would be appointed by the legislature. And it has caused all kinds of uproar across the state.
Sorry, continue.
So people feel very strongly on both sides. Some people say, why in the world? Like, Republicans, come on, what you want the people closer to the people to be able to elect their Public Service Commission. I mean, why would Republicans, the Republican supermajority, want to take that away to where their little cabal can make these decisions for us? Some in 1819 News, I guess, Susan DuBose, Arnold Mooney, and 2 other Republican conservatives put out an op-ed talking about how this is the right thing to do, to bring it back under the legislature's purview, that it is part of their right to be able to do that. And that's what Joan Reynolds was talking about. It's only 10 other states that elect their public service commissions. What do y'all think? Because it's turned into a thing, and I get it. There's a lot of corruption on the Public Service Commission, yes, and there's a lot of influence there. But just because you appoint someone doesn't mean they can't be corrupted either.
Right.
So I don't like, I guess it's, who do you want to corrupt? Do you want the legislature and all their friends to be corrupted and do the bidding for the lobbyists and legislators? Or do you want the dark money coming in from other states to corrupt campaigns?
I mean, I know what the argument's going to be for why they should do this is that the people elected the legislature, so then they're entrusting the legislators to pick on behalf of their interests. But I don't know. It reeks of even more corruption than the other side of it. I understand the argument of dark money or whatever, but just having the legislatures handpick somebody seems a lot more corrupted than the people actually choosing. So you can argue that the campaigns are corrupted with special interest money or whatever, but at least the people are the ones voting for who they want in there instead of the legislators pick. That seems way more corrupt in my opinion.
Is the legislators pick?
Yes.
I don't like, if the legislators were trustworthy, this wouldn't feel so icky, but they're not. Is what you said a minute ago. Nobody really, like, okay, whatever. We see the lobbyist. We know that you are completely corrupted. We also know that money's coming in. We are not an honest people down there. And we're the ones who will pay the price for it. I don't know which would be better. I don't think either is a great option. Would I still like to vote and choose? Yes. But
devil's advocate here, I mean, who really pays attention as a voter to the Public Service Commission?
Right.
No one. Until Matt Gentry came in, and I'm like, oh, we should probably pay attention to this. This is important.
He's my father-in-law's new favorite person. He's talked to me about him like twice. I don't know why.
Great guy.
But
he explained it in a way that you wanted to care.
Yeah.
And it made sense for the first time in my entire life.
So watch that brouhaha because it might get, I don't know. I always wonder who's pushing these things. That's what I want to know. That might help me make my decision.
You know what? It's always the thing when Chris says some new study came out and it's a health study. Who funded the study?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Do you have time to tell us your fun?
I mean, I figured I'd just break up the tense news with a funny story.
Please.
I think I found a new hobby that I'm going to get into. Have y'all seen this new sports league where they literally...
Wait, let us guess.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a guess. Does it have to do with tortillas?
No.
Okay.
Does it have to do with bungee jumping?
No.
Does it have to do with squirt guns?
No.
Go-kart driving?
No.
Okay.
What?
Is it?
It is a sport. I'm going to put up a video on the live stream where literally you run full speed at each other and whoever gets knocked down
shoot.
loses. So
I can't watch that.
It's called, what is it? RNC is the logo I'm seeing on the middle. But this has been going viral over the past week. The sport is literally, if you're not on the live stream, two dudes full speed running at each other from about 50 yards away. One's got a football, and whoever gets decked pretty much loses. And there's people literally getting knocked out cold in this.
There's no shoulder pads. There's no helmets. There's no knee pads. There's no. Okay, this is why you don't play Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto.
This ain't right.
What's wrong?
What is wrong with these people?
Come on.
Who does that?
No, JP.
What? I don't like. Are you just asking to die?
I
That's a
I can't watch
TBI.
it.
What
TBI.
are your
Traumatic brain injury. No.
What are your reactions on a scale of 1 to 10? What's your likelihood you would watch this?
Those people are stupid.
Negative a million.
What's it called?
I don't know. Okay. The logo says RNC in the middle.
They do not do that at the Republican National Convention. Can you imagine Joan Reynolds doing that?
No, I think it's rugby related. But anyways,
no
rugby. That's just dumb.
I don't like it.
I mean,
it
what
makes me
what
uncomfortable.
percentage of people are injured?
All of them.
Like you would have one match and then be out for 6 months.
There must be prize money that makes it worth it.
It takes me back to the Oklahoma drills we would do in football where, you'd line up with two guys blocking in front of each other and then one guy behind with the ball and then the defenders on the other side. And you just it's kind of like that. And you're looking in the line to see if you're going up against a senior and switching places with people. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Except this one, you're literally just running full speed at each other directly with no shoulder pads, no helmets, nothing. But I would watch it.
No, of course you would. You're the same. Look, when Chris and Will are watching games, do your boys do this? And they're doing the replay of the broken arm or the twisted ankle. They're like, look, I'm like, absolutely not.
I watch all of it.
Some mother is watching this in horror. No, thank you. But I'm around dudes who want me to see that, and I don't want to see it. It hurts my feelings, and it hurts their bodies, dude.
Pretty sure this is like proving that boys and girls are different.
Yeah.
Because if there's a guy watching that, they're probably like, this is awesome.
It's just funny to me. Who would sit there and be like, all right, I got a great sports idea for you. We're going to get two guys 50 yards away from each other, and they're going to run directly at each other. And we're just going to get a...
And they probably... Oh, God.
I thought it was tortilla slapping.
Oh, no.
That's what I wanted.
No, what I won't watch is actual slap fighting, because that's just dumb.
I don't...
And what is that?
Well, at least
you have your standards.
At least there's a bit of skill behind it instead of literally putting your hands behind your back and letting it. Yeah, but there's technique. You gotta, and it's. But slap fighting, you're literally just hands behind your back, letting someone slap you unconscious.
Every man in our audience is like, "Let's go!"
Right.
Which I appreciate that because you're men.
It's very Roman Empire.
The women are like, "Thank you."
The Colosseum was built for us.
Yeah,
it was.
That's why we need to bring back dueling.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't talk
Not
about
jousting.
that.
No, I realized that the other day. We never talked about that.
Okay, we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right.
Break. 3, 2, 1, break. We'll be back. Breakfast. That's the thing. It was this morning.
Now, no matter what we do, this moron, no matter what it is, We could put them all together. I think, Mike, what would you say the top 5 things? Name them. We'll put them in one bill, and we'll put them before we'll get 100% vote, except for this guy named Thomas Massey. There's something wrong with him.
Why we got to be like that?
Yeah.
I guess because I thought Massey did the right thing. We were calling all of Congress out yesterday for allowing, what was it, $1.3 trillion to go to scholarships for higher education for underprivileged kids in Egypt. And that's what Trump is saying. Massey's a terrible person. Massey went through, he voted, or he put an amendment out to make it so the government can't put a kill switch on your car. Congress voted it down. The Republican majority voted it down. So why is he an idiot? And even if
well, he said moron.
I'm sorry. Is there a difference?
Probably technically, but I don't know.
Hey,
I'm just
Siri.
making fun.
What's the difference between a moron and an idiot?
According to Merriam-Webster, an idiot is a foolish or stupid person, while a moron is a mildly mentally retarded person.
Wait.
Siri said it. Okay.
Siri said retarded?
Yes, mildly retarded.
Is that because she's British?
Yeah, probably.
Mildly retarded.
She sounded so nice when she was saying
Existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home.
The whole messaging of the younger generation doesn't work hard enough to even own a home. First of all, it's awful optics, and that's a great way to lose Gen Z. So it's not great messaging, but then second off, it's just wrong. I think the narrative that my generation doesn't work hard enough to own a home, and that's why they're struggling to own homes, is just not true.
I think the enemy making the older generation the enemy is also wrong. Just like it's wrong to make the younger generation the enemy. Nobody's the enemy. Money's money. And we had better get in control of it if we want to get out of this at all. He pitted two groups against each other. That's wrong. That's not what we're for. We are for working on things we can work on so that everybody benefits. That's conservatism. And he didn't say that well.
I think instead of saying, I want all the boomers to get rich off their homes, I think he was saying, I don't want the boomers to lose their fannies when we drive housing prices down. Like, it's not that he thinks they're going to get rich off the backs of kids, even though that's what he kind of said. I'm assuming he's like, well, if we drive housing prices down, then all these people that have worked so hard and then have finally gotten there. I think what he's trying to say is, I want them to at least be able to keep the value of their home or make money. I just don't want them to lose money. And that's a reasonable thing to say.
Could we talk about the prevalence of anti-Semitism?
Yes, we can. And anti-Semitism is a real problem. It's been on the left for a really long time. There's a strain of anti-Semitism starting to emerge on the right that I think we should pay attention to. But I would say at the same time, that term anti-Semitism has become just about as useless as the term racism. We know that there are lots of people get accused of racism who are not racist. There are lots of things that people will put that racist label on that are not racism at all. And the same kind of thing can happen with anti-Semitism. If you say what I said a few minutes ago, which is that Jews have to believe in Jesus to be saved, there are people who will say that's anti-Semitic. You say that Jews have to trust in Jesus to find salvation. Some people will say that's anti-Semitic. So we have to be very discerning here about what's actually being talked about. I would say that the flip side of that is if you say Jews can't be saved, for example, like Jews just can't be saved for whatever reason, that the branches on the tree of the covenant that were broken out can't be grafted back in, that would truly be anti-Semitic. If you say that Jews are uniquely malevolent and you use them as a scapegoat and blame them for all the problems, say, of Western society, or you think that, Jews absolutely run the world and control everything. I mean, there are some of these, there are people who will say things like that. That could verge over into a kind of anti-Semitism. If you refuse to acknowledge the good contributions that Jews have made, that could be a form of anti-Semitism. But a lot of things that get labeled anti-Semitism are not anti-Semitism. Criticizing the nation of Israel is not anti-Semitic. Questioning our nation's foreign policy towards Israel is not anti-Semitic. In the Bible, there's a long history of criticizing the Jewish people. Just read the prophets. Look at Jesus, look at Paul, and these are Jews who are criticizing other Jews for their unfaithfulness to God. They're not anti-Semitic. It's not an issue of race.
Hi. Welcome back. Sorry.
JP.
Sorry about that, you guys.
What?
We're talking about honeymoons.
We're just,
you interrupted, JP.
I got somebody getting married this summer and we were discussing. Anywho, okay, so JP, we don't know what kind of questions you're going to come up with, but we're ready for them because are we going to do Would You Rather or have you come up with some trivia questions? Good sir.
Text, like
we got random trivia
What do you want to do?
Random trivia.
Random
okay.
trivia.
All right. I love it.
This is really random. What is the only U.S. state that can be
Florida?
No, that can be typed in using only one row of a standard QUERTY.
Ohio.
No.
Alabama.
Wait. This isn't. Well, hold on. What is the only U.S. state that can be typed in using only one row of a standard?
Kansas.
Okay. No.
What? Nope.
We're gonna be
Arkansas?
here forever.
No.
Alaska.
Correct.
Alaska. That's it.
I got it. It's the
Alaska's
middle
correct.
row.
Oh, that was so great.
What do you
All right.
What do you call the visible part of the rivet commonly found on the pockets of jeans?
A grommet.
No.
I used to know the name of this.
It.
I don't anymore. Tell us.
It's a nail head.
The burr.
The burr. Okay.
I
I hope you're playing along in your car or at your house.
Okay, I know the answer to this one because of Phineas and Ferb. What is the name of the plastic or metal tube found on the ends of shoelaces?
I have absolutely
eyelet.
no idea. That's the eye.
What?
It's
It is
the-
an eyelet.
You're close.
It's an
eye bob.
It's not the Iron Bowl
it's
basketball.
a
I have no idea.
eyelet isn't eyelet the
Where the
where
little,
there are holes in your
Yeah.
shirt?
yeah.
Okay, it's
the aglet.
aglet.
Of course
I
it's
knew
the
it.
aglet.
Phineas
I
and
knew it.
Ferb had a whole song about
Thank you so much, JP. My oldest daughter knew that immediately.
Do you know how many people were just in their cars or in their office
Phineas!
going, aglet, Sinclair, aglet?
Come on, woman.
it. All right, let's see. Weighing around 8 pounds, this is the human body's largest organ.
Head.
No,
Brain.
no,
Heart.
What's the difference in a head and a brain?
The colon.
What are other?
the
Your
it's an
stomach?
organ.
The lung.
Your liver.
No, it's your skin.
Oh,
All right, one more.
We need to go back to school.
Well-
I'll never forget. My friend Emily told me my epidermis was showing one time, and
remember
I
being told that.
flipped out.
I think I cried.
Flipped out.
Like
Not
third
my
grade?
epidermis. Yeah.
Okay, one more. Okay, well, this what? Okay, no.
Do it.
What is the only food that can never go bad?
Honey.
Honey, that's correct. Okay, we got about 15 seconds till we go out, but yeah.
Okay. Well, tomorrow we'll be back. We have Jared Hudson, U.S. Senate candidate, in studio. What else do we have?
Do we have any Rod? Do we have somebody else coming on?
Oh,
Just-
Rodney Walker, U.S. Senate candidate, is coming the next day.
Perfect.
Okay, see y'all then. Bye.
You're listening live to Rightside Radio.